And we're there.
Are we live?
We are.
We are so live.
Rob, put on your normal modulator.
Sorry. I need to use my fake voice while we're streaming.
There you go.
What we got here?
What's up, everyone? How's everyone feeling today? We chilling?
Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. Just good. We got Christina and Justin back. It's great playing with Jake and Matt as always. But I think
Shout out to them.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic job. James, I don't know why you made that face when I said that, but that's okay. But it's glad to have the crew here, I think. Rob is ready.
I missed y'all.
Christina's ready. James is ready. I know, we missed you. We really... How did the shows go?
Yo, it was amazing. We had an incredible turnout every single show that we had, and so many people came out, loved it, and were moved by the show. It was just quite an experience. So if you ever get a chance to go see Ragtime in the future, I recommend. Bring tissues. But yes, our show was amazing. It was so great.
Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Top tier stuff. Justin doing big things whilst on hiatus from the stream.
Doing what I can. But yeah, like I said, I missed y'all, and I was so excited to get back into the stream.
Yeah, we certainly missed our captain. I mean, last session, Torke did just about everything he could to try and find you, but at every turn he was led astray by the silver-tongued Torsal Gerlach, who has now reclaimed what he had sought out for. Okay, are we echoing? Apparently we're robot voicing. Is that a Discord issue, or are we having a bit of a stream?
I may have to... How about that? Better? I think I had maybe there were two audio channels, I think, going. Desktop audio and some kind of audio output capture. So sorry, chat. Looks like it should be better.
Okay.
Jiggity check. How you doing, chat?
John is incredibly excited about the new emote, which, as you can all now see in chat, Christina's wonderful work from the charity live stream is available for you all to use, abuse, spam at will. I'm sure we'll have to feature some prime chutney moments in celebration of this new asset that we've produced. Besides that, welcome anyone who is new to the show. Did a little bit of promotion this week, and hopefully for those of you who are catching a stream for the first time, you are excited to see what we have to offer now that the captain's back. Besides that, I want to make a couple of really quick announcements. Firstly, we have obviously the new emoji, so please enjoy that. We'll hopefully have a couple of more emojis made in the near future for people to enjoy. But for now, please do enjoy the Chutmoji, the watermelon love heart, drooling, whatever you want that to mean. I'm sure that the community will come up with a moment that certainly encapsulates the image. Besides that, we have some cool stuff in the works, namely a website that should go live before next session. That pending some work and a few articles that need to be written still, but it's looking like it's shaping up well. Precisely what you can find on the website will be a catalogue of articles, blog posts, art, assets, all relating to the stream. If you want to learn a little bit more about each member of the cast, they'll have their own about sections, as well as sections that summarize and give a quick synopsis for everything that is happening on stream. So if you miss a session and you don't have time to sit down for the full 3-hour episode before the next live one, and you don't want to spoil anything for yourself, you can read there instead. Also for people who are coming in now, what is nearly 10 sessions deep. I know that that's a long commitment, so hopefully a 10-minute long read of a blog post will be more digestible for those who are coming in later down the line. We'll also be posting all of the fantastic artwork we have had produced for the characters, as well as the NPCs, some NPC art posts, and a few articles about the world building, what I have actually been working on behind the scenes, so that you guys can get a better bearing on how I, or at least my idea of what would have happened in the Forgotten Realms / Realm Space area over the past 100 and so years since the last official publication. But yeah, more on that at a future date. Probably most excitingly is from the 9th to the 12th of December, we as a group, Christina, Justin, James, Ryan, myself, as well as some other friends and members of the community, will be meeting up in person to hopefully put together some special events and live stream them out to you all. So when we can get that organized, we're all very excited. It'll be the first time most of us are meeting each other in real life, and hopefully it doesn't devolve to the point where we realize that we should have never have met each other for real in the first place. But I'm sure it'll be good fun, and we'll figure out some special stuff. Probably a additional episode of the regular stream, and maybe I can bully James or Ryan into running a fun little one-shot for people to enjoy. Okay. That pretty much sums it up. I know, Justin, you've had an eventful week or two, so we're glad to have you back. Christina, back from her trip to Paris and sorting out her technical setup. It's good to have you on the show too. But does anyone else have any final notes to comment on before I get us underway?
No, I'm just trying to figure out my mic, Chad. I don't know why you're getting only one side of it, but I'll see what I can do to work on that while we're doing things in the background.
I apologize if I'm moving around a lot. Our new setup requires us to sit on the floor and
be next to each other.
Taking some getting used to. Try to sit still as best I can. Alrighty, well, last week the party had a little bit of a scuffle in the Arena of Blood. After meeting the Tabaxi promoter, Laserbeam, or Laser Pointer, essentially his full name, you were introduced to the kingpin of the Jungle Ward, one Alkamar Namor, a debonair and dapper smooth talker who has climbed his way to the top of the canopy, as to say, in the jungle ward of the Leiran Space Port. The party discussed terms for a contract in which they negotiated the acquisition or reacquisition of their Captain Gideon. Alkamar is said to be a mover and shaker, someone who has his eyes on everything that's happening in his neck of the woods, and we thought it would be a valuable asset to have his eyes on our particular case as well. In addition to that, there was a negotiation for Girdlak repossessing the ship that belonged to Nock, or the Red Mantis, that was correctly said on multiple occasions last week, but we won't resurface that gem. And in addition to that, there was a ride aboard Laser's Spelljammer.
Come on, say
definitely high priority for Prequelium. The Sex Panther.
Right.
Okay. So the conditions were, and this is important, that you all put on a good show. It wasn't that you were to win. It wasn't that you were to defeat a certain number of enemies, but to entertain the crowd. And that you did, though it wasn't entirely successful. The party were unfortunately bested by the clockwork automata that were introduced by the group, by Alkmaar too. After which, we ended up in the infirmary. In said infirmary that Torke, your dear captain, was brought back to you, dragged in underneath the arms of two of Alkmaar's Tabaxi bodyguards.
In carbonite.
And yes, not in carbonite. Thank goodness. But as Precordium removed his full body cast, the promises that were made to you were all fulfilled. Namely, the reacquisition of Gideon, the acquisition or rebursement of the Scarlet Mantis. Scarlet Mantis. I'm being very careful to say it properly because someone got it in my head another way around. And lastly, not lastly, the ride in the Sex Panther is currently underway. There was one other slight promise that was made by Alkmaar, and it was that he would help Torke in uncovering, or at least identifying, the vessel that carried the pulsating blue light that he saw at the edge of Graal before we flew to the Leiran Space Port. And it was in this that he was revealed to the name of said Spelljammer, the Flying Fish. We return as Gideon awakens on one half of the double teardrop bed, a healing bag placed by his side with a magical stent inserted into his body.
Where?
Velvet.
Where is it inserted into his body? That is important.
Yeah.
You're not going to listen, Rob. I said, where is it inserted into his body?
I'm not going there.
Okay.
It's inserted into his big G. So there you go. Take it however you want.
Do we have them all chained up?
No, he's not all chained up. He is
just laying on the
left. Yes. The fuzzy handcuffs haven't come out yet. So.
Okay.
Is for sure.
Captain, do you want these on now or later?
What the hell did I miss?
Well,
Why is there a bag all up in my business? What's wrong with this bed? Where the hell are we? I need some answers.
Well, you left Torke and I in charge, and we made several mistakes.
I may have let Giant Turtle take over control of the ship, because he said if there wasn't a captain, then we had to have a captain, and he used to be a captain, and therefore he should be the captain.
I also take partial responsibility for the turtle. However, we have made it up by rescuing you. Also, what happened to you? Where have you been?
Well, I went out to go get some more information for Gnarlclaw, and my contact took too long, so I went out to get some ice cream for the crew. I come back, the ship is gone. And now I think, what the hell do I do now?
Okay, so we thought you were kidnapped, so we left.
Funny you should mention that, because right after I saw the ship was gone, I was blindfolded. Bastards found my blind side. And I
So
found
us
myself.
believing that you were kidnapped made it so you became kidnapped.
Potato, however you want to slice it. But yes.
I like to dice them. It works a lot better in things.
I miss you, buddy.
Yes, I missed you. I was worried, Kitty. We didn't let them go in the room. So, no worries about them.
Good.
Even though they were captain, they did not go to the room. X said he wouldn't let them in there.
X didn't give it to him?
No, X did not give it to him.
So now, we're on a sexy panther going for a ride until we get back to the Artemis.
Which we need to get back to because we left Chutney in charge, and
Yes.
I know that's scary. I'm sorry, Gideon. But we had no choice. And also, UA was sleeping, so we probably should wake her up.
Like this.
Where is she and where is the Artemis?
She's on the ship. The ship is like 2 minutes that way. We'll be there in a jiffy. I'm surprised you woke up now, of all places.
Where are we? But I know you said the sexy panther, but where is this sexy panther?
We are currently flying over the jungle ward of New Sean.
We're in Leiran?
Yes.
Son of a...
Well, we know we're not supposed to come here.
No. It's my old stomping grounds.
Oh, then you probably know if this is your old stomping grounds, and this was Gerdlach's stomping grounds. I'm surprised you don't know him.
It's a big stomping ground.
So, after getting blindfolded and kidnapped, do you remember anything else or no?
I woke up, smelled something that smelled like something that died in the mouth of whatever just breathed on me, and I realized I was face to face with Gnarlclaw himself.
At oral hygiene.
So he and I had a little bit of talking, a little bit of catching up to do, but he still hates me. And the last thing I remember, I was in some more, not fuzzy handcuffs, but just steel ones. I was knocked out. Next thing I know, here we are. We're on this sexy panther.
So apparently, you were found on board of the Red Mantis, alone, with no one else there.
Oh, there was other people there. Some of his henchmen.
Well, they weren't there anymore. That's what they told us, right, Rob?
Yes. Gideon was found alone on the Red Mantis, abandoned.
Completely empty, abandoned.
I had a fuzzy head, so forgive me for some of that hallucinating.
Right. Well, we'll be back to the ship soon. I don't think... Oh, you know that lantern thing that Torke was looking for? The wom
Ship, yeah.
crystal? What was the name of it, Torke?
The frying fish.
The flying fish, that was it.
Does that ring a bell? Can I do a history check?
Yeah, you can do a history check. It doesn't immediately pop out to you.
Ooh, that's a roll of a 19, bringing it up to 24.
So, in your day, working about the streets of the Leiran Space Port, particularly when you were struggling to get by, you recall a period where you were working as a porter, where you were just hucking freight from one end of the space docks to another. You remember that as a part of a giant freighting company, like a trans-planetoid or, like galactic scope shipping company, there was a particularly famous tradesman in the fleet, one known as the Flying Fish. It was said to only stow the most prized cargo. It was somewhat of a good luck charm for the company.
That is a lucky ship right there. Find anything else about it?
That has what Torque wants on it. I don't really know why you want it, Torque. Do you just like the way it looks, or?
No, in the dream where it was my dream, but you were in your dream and we were dreaming together, and you dreamed. Yeah, the
Halloween special, as we call it.
The crystal, I found it in the dream, and then it crushed my skull as it flew up at me.
Wait, we want to find the crystal that killed you.
Uh-huh. It seemed important to Torque, and it was pretty.
But Torque, we don't want you to die.
I think it was a Muppet for something. It won't really kill me.
Torque, we went over this metaphor.
I think you mean a Kermitism.
Yes.
That too.
I have a frog in my throat.
Oh, don't you join in. Oh, God.
Well,
In any case, Laser, could you stop doing barrel rolls? Laser, could you stop doing barrel rolls and land us, please?
No, I am doing, as they say, bouncing the whip. And you see the Sex Panther is like rearing up over and over again, like a
in the parking lot already.
like a lowrider popping up. This is how I get all of the ladies.
Low Panther gets a little lower.
Are there fuzzy dice in the mirror?
Of course there are,
Right,
and he constantly bats at them with his paws. This is like favorite little lucky charm. God. I can't wait to get you guys out of the Sex Panther once and for all.
Yeah, I was. Maybe
Quickly, we must find out more reasons to stay here.
I think it's maybe time we go back to Artemis. Before Chutney blows it up.
And we are here.
We are where?
Look, out of the window of the Sex Panther. It is the Artemis.
Right out the cat's eye. Yes, Gideon. See, it's good, right there.
I look nervously for any dwarven ships parked nearby.
Nervously, one way and then the other.
Gideon,
Doesn't look like there are any ships that dwarven make.
Gideon, do you know a little guy named Ziggy?
Jiggy Stardust.
No.
Star Sand.
No.
Space sand.
Little
Jiggy
Jiggy?
Space Sand.
Well, that son of a, he owes me 10 gold pieces. What y'all know about
He
him?
stole. I don't even remember how much, but it hurt my pride more than anything.
Did you park the Artemis in his parking lot?
Well, it wasn't his. It was some goblins, which in turn were some orcs, so we left. Bad neighborhood. Whew.
That bastard gets more money that way than anyone I ever know.
Yes, if we ever find him again, he must die.
Oh, God.
That's a bit extreme, but if that's the route you want to go, I mean, I ain't gonna stop you.
Well, he is the heartbreaker of death, so maybe he wants to kill Jiggy.
No, Jiggy can stay alive. Just maybe some light jail time? I don't know.
Okay.
Either way, I'm anxious to see the condition of this Artemis.
Alright, it's been great, Laser. You, keep doing what you do best.
I will see you soon, hopefully.
Yeah, kind of like slowly back off the ship.
See you soon. Good luck.
Laser waves you all goodbye.
Hi, Laser.
There we go. The first time you guys met someone with a funny name that was likable and didn't recruit them to your party, so
He was a little bit too.
he was too cool.
There's a sweet spot, Rob.
Uh-huh.
He has his own.
He wasn't insane.
Yeah, he has his
enough.
own ship already.
It's a company ship, you know.
It's a company ship.
It's a company ship that is set up like a sex dungeon. Sure.
It's
Sounds
on
legit.
leash.
Look, Alkamar knows how.
It's
to
on
keep it.
leash.
Yeah, it's on leash.
Oh, James. Well, I know Tark's just going to try to rush as quick as he can inside before, make sure that he can hide any evidence of Girdlach and the Zorax, anything that they may have left behind that was, or damaged or anything. So,
Before Mom and Dad finds out.
Shit, I forgot to thaw out the chicken. Oh no!
You're dead. It's already too late.
Wait,
Cover it
what
in
was I
water.
supposed to preheat the oven to?
So once you guys reboard the Artemis, Gideon, you run your hand down her viewing beams, making sure that she's in tip-top condition. She's just as beautiful as ever. But unfortunately, as you step out onto the main deck, you hear a groaning.
Oh, chutney.
Captain Gideon, is that you?
It is. Are you dead or are you playing dead?
We have been compromised, sir.
By who?
He said his name was Jagged Talon.
Oh, no, Jagged Talon?
You mean Narclaw?
That's it, yes. Narclaw.
Gnarlclaw was on this ship.
Yes, he said, Captain Gideon, that he was looking for someone called Fargrim Firebrandy.
That's Fargrim Firesbane.
Yes, that's it, sir. Oh, I'm in
Yes.
so much pain. Are you going to go find him? He's yelling at you from below the deck currently.
Yeah, I'll go find him at this point. I'll walk over to him.
Wait a minute. The conversation was he was on one floor and Chutney's on a completely different.
You're like yelling at each other through the.
Gideon's lying on the deck, like talking through the planks of the ship.
Well, Chutney, what did you tell him?
Oh, well, I told him I've never heard of anyone by that name, sir. By the way, I think Celestian is much worse for wear. And Chutney points across the corridor, and you see Celestian is like slumped, unconscious by your workshop door.
Oh my goodness!
Celestian, what happened to you? Same thing that happened to him, but worse?
I know talk. Hit many times. Okay though, stop going inside.
Alright, I know
Much
I made a vow
appreciated.
not to wake up UA, but I think this is an opportunity where you could have woken up UA. I'm gonna walk over to the door and knock on UA's door.
Knock. No response.
Is she vampire sleeping again? I'm gonna peek in through the people.
Torque will smack the back of his head again. You can't look into a woman's room.
He's vampire sleeping again!
I don't even know what a vampire is.
Torque, you have to break down the door. There's no way she could have slept through an attack on the ship. She's probably dead in there. We have to go check.
You can't be dead. No. And then Torque will slam his body into the door.
Roll an athletics check.
Wait, is it unlocked?
Roll an athletics check.
Doesn't matter. You told me that to break down the door.
That's an 18 after a 15 roll.
Yeah.
Okay, you go straight through the door.
Like
the door
Kool-Aid
goes
Man?
flying off.
Or is it like Kool-Aid Man? Like there's a whole silhouette of me now.
door?
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, I should have checked if it was unlocked.
Yeah, you just go straight through. There's now a Torque-shaped hole in UA's door. But UA is still completely like serene.
Oh my
Arms over
god.
her.
Wait, I'm gonna try the door. See if it was unlocked.
Yeah, you open the door.
Ah, shit.
Damn it.
Yeah, we
you
could just
open
hang
the
a blanket there before Gideon sees. Torque would like grab her foot and check
What
for
the
a
hell
pulse.
is that up there?
Grabs her foot.
Yeah, Torque grabs her foot to check.
Nothing,
to check for a
Captain.
pulse.
Here.
Roll a medicine check.
Oh yeah, this is.
This is gonna go wonderfully.
Oh,
Any
yeah.
med students in the chat can actually check someone's pulse. with their
It's a
foot.
15 for a 15.
That's a 15. There is a pulse in her ankle that you managed to grab a hold of.
Well, I mean, her ankle would probably fit in my. Like, I would wrap my whole hand around her.
Yeah, you
foot.
like-
So it's like you can
Like
feel.
just like your index finger and your thumb, and you lift her all the way up.
I want to. Wait, did we break
She's alive.
Did,
Pray, she's alive.
did we break the emotional bond after the nightmare? We kept it, right?
Still going.
Kept it.
I wanna sense what's going on in UA's head. What kind of emotions are happening?
Okay, so if you reach out and try to tap into UA's emotions, you sense a great sense of shame and bitterness inside her heart.
Torque, have you tried shaking her awake yet?
He'll just like have her foot and just start shaking. UA, wake
Maybe
up.
we should have checked on her.
You shake UA furiously around, and she's still completely unconscious.
Somebody try bless.
Hey, Captain! Captain!
At this point, I would have come upstairs.
You see,
What the hell is
the
this
door
hole
is
doing here?
I blame X.
It was my idea, but Torque did execute it, so I think we should both be punished. Equally. Spread amongst us. Bigger fish to fry.
On the Sex Panther.
Bigger fish to fry. UA is dead.
No, she's not dead. I felt a bum bum in her foot.
There's a
UA
pulse
is
then.
comatose.
Stand aside. And I will use my magical tinkering ability, pull out a small little box, and create something that emits smelling salts.
So you're going to open up your box, and you take out this this jar that is filled with a primordial essence. And as you like flick the side of the jar just the right way, it kind of emits a very high-pitched sound, and you watch as the elements inside the jar start to steam.
I'll look to everyone else and say, you might want to stand back.
I grab Torque's nose and pitch it.
Because he's still holding onto her foot.
And I will put it close to her nose, and see if she gets a whiff.
Okay, and
Do I have to
UA
roll?
suddenly awakens. Did the smell, Yue, is like smelling sulfur and brimstone. The eggiest fart you've ever smelled in your life just wafted up into your nostrils.
1,000-year-old
You're
egg.
1,000
right
year
next to
eggs.
Torque's bottom.
It smells like 1,000-year eggs.
Oh, worse. So much worse. More like a stinky durian.
Oh.
Ugh.
Oh no, but I eat those.
Yeah, they're delicious, but also they smell terrible.
Yeah, you just gotta hold your nose
I
and
never said that they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Said I tolerate it.
Well, you're awake.
Yue, how are you feeling?
I feel like I've been here for ages.
It's been about...
For like
Wait.
4 hours, maybe. That's about it.
well, no. A little longer. We did travel here from when we left Gideon there and we traveled.
No, we don't talk about the travel. Nothing happened
Yue just
of
starts
note.
wiping her eyes. Make sure
There was no
nothing's
damage
fallen.
to the ship's hull.
I love how someone commented in the Twitch chat about how you guys haven't repaired the ship since it got smattered.
I
Gideon.
feel
We gotta
like
get
I'm
on
so-
that.
Does
I'm
anybody
just
have
glad
water?
Captain hasn't seen it yet.
Wait, you want water?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. And he'll just like let go of her foot and leg as he's holding her up, and she just falls under the bed. And then he'll sprint to the kitchen to grab water.
Does he make another hole? Just,
Yeah,
like
right
through
next to the
floor?
in the
Just,
wall.
like, into...
He's not.
Like it's
Door,
brain
door, door, door,
damage,
door, door.
may as
There's
well.
a door there. Use the door.
And he'll actually, I think now there's like, it looks like it's one way that's going this side, and like it's kind of busted in the middle. And there's another arm. It's like I've just added to the hole.
Yeah, it's like this and then like this.
It's like
He's adding to the snow, Angel.
It looks like a gorillon has run through the door now because it's like multiple.
Mythology gorilla has formed.
Yeah, they're in D&D.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you haven't met
Okay.
one yet, but they're pretty cool.
With the
I'll just run to the
huge-
kitchen and get it. The water. I'll just run and get water and then like sprint back.
Okay.
how much water is in the cup when you get back from sprinting?
He has 2 cups in it, one in each hand. And
They
then
make up one.
yeah, they are. Yeah, he was never in like one of those wine racing competitions ever. So there's like he gets it to you and he goes, and then he pours like some from the one into the other,
Half.
and it's like now it makes like a half of a glass. I'll go get more. Here, this first, and then he'll just hand that and then sprint off with the one single cup and get more.
Okay.
With
Why-
shaking hands, she puts it to her lips and starts slowly sipping on it.
Yue, are you a vampire?
No.
You ain't just ask people if they're vampires.
She was vampire sleeping.
It's just
Like
uncomfortable. And make sure that everything is.
This is not comfortable. This is
It's very
vampire
comfortable.
sleeping.
You have not tried it.
Listen, I mean this is quite nice actually. I'll just be right here for a little bit.
But the main thing is you're okay, though.
Uh-oh.
I wasn't
It's fixed.
dreaming, so I don't think I was sleeping. Everything was very
Oh.
dark.
Why was it like Rob's face? Like
Stretched across 3 different.
It's fixed now. I'm sorry. I was trying to turn the volume up on you guys because so I could hear, so to make sure we had you guys high enough. Cause stuff. I'm sorry. Sorry, chat.
Go sit on your side of the room.
It was like a Picasso painting. Rob
that's
Picasso.
a good point. If you are a vampire, you have to
Cubism.
tell us if you're a vampire. It's against the law.
You know what? I am. I just have obscenely long arms now.
Oh my
That's a side
Stop.
effect.
She's just a space
Well-
vampire now.
But in any case, why were you in a
Vampire.
comatose state? Can that be explained by scientific methods?
I reach over and I bring out the teapot that was left on my dresser earlier. That has a little jade rabbit on top. I
Very
drank some
nice
of
teapot.
this, assuming somebody put it here. That was from the crew. and I just fell asleep. But it didn't feel like sleeping at all.
Still doesn't explain the vampire.
Can I examine the pot?
Sure.
Investigate it, see what's.
Yeah, roll me an investigation check.
Woo! That's a 17 to bring it up to 24.
All right, so the pot is made from pure jade. It must be incredibly expensive. And just as Yue says, at the top of the teapot itself is a worked jade rabbit. It's incredibly well crafted. As you lift up the lid of the teapot to look inside, you see that there are obviously steeped leaves of tea and hot water. Well, the water's now cold. But as you lift to look at the underside of the lid, you notice that on the underside of the lid are two very pronounced, what almost look like canine-like fangs.
Vampire!
As you inspect the fangs closer, you see that the fangs are needled with tiny little paws.
And a little what?
Paws,
Oh.
like little holes.
Pores. Okay, like in your skin.
Paws.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought she
You?
said paws, like cat paws.
Guess I thought at first too. I'm like,
Yeah, I was like,
okay.
It was all laser.
fangs and paws. Very strange design.
Yue, I'm sorry to say, but you might have been drugged. And I will show him the fangs and a little slit in there.
When I look at Yue's neck, does she have vampire marks?
Take Precordium.
Yeah, you can take a look at her either side of her neck, and there are no puncture wounds in her neck.
They must have hidden it well.
Incessant. You
No.
are incessant on this.
James is
point.
going to speak your vampirism into existence, even if
Until you do it, like by next session or
yeah,
something.
he's not going to stop talking about it.
Next week he's gonna be like, aha, she was after all this time.
Mm-hmm.
I bring up the pot and I inspect it. You know, it's very strange. We just had this whole dream. And in the dream, there was a jade rabbit that I followed. And for this to just show up out of nowhere, it's coincidental, isn't it? The only two people who would have maybe seen it was Precordium and Torke, who was also sharing the same dream.
Pray,
Well,
did you hurt
I seem to remember you all running away and leaving me by myself in the woods with murderous childhood friends stabbing me. So I did not see any sort of jade rabbit, my dear associate.
Recordium. Do you
Yes.
have a bond with anyone else besides people on this crew?
No, just these two.
Should have known about this besides us.
Fascinating.
I mean, maybe father? I don't know. He's got kind of super magic powers, but me and him just recently, split. Yo.
And as you say the word father, Yue kind of slumps down, which is very unlike her. She has perfect posture, unlike me. And she says, I think it's time that I told you a bit more about myself.
I think you might be right, actually.
Here comes the vampire.
Precordium, please escort yourself out. And re-enter with the
No,
different
I'm quite comfortable.
Is he still in that position?
Yes, he's still sitting.
Is he slowly pushing me off the bed to be in this position?
On the
That's what I wanted.
ground.
On the ground.
I'm against the wall. I'm upside down hanging from a beam.
Oh,
my
it's the vampire.
Yeah, who's the vampire?
Who's the vampire?
I'm the vampire now.
Yeah.
No.
But do resume.
One
what you were
teapot.
saying.
Sorry. So the reason I am here on your crew is because I am hiding from someone. The reason why is because I did not want to get married as soon as my family wanted me to.
Speak up.
Oh, My family wanted me to wed a year after my coming of age, and I did not want that. And my father, in support of me, helped me escape. Now, the only other person who would know about some of my childhood dreams and about the Jade Rabbit historically are people from my country, such as the general who came looking for me.
And that was the fellow that was right outside the ship, wasn't it?
Yes.
Did
And in
he?
haste, my disguise wasn't very well done, and he might have seen right through me.
Did he sneak in and then bite you, or?
Recording. I swear on all the 9 immortals.
I was about to say,
Isn't
Recordium.
that 8?
Shut up. That's what I thought you were about to say.
I'm the 9th immortal, I'm the vampire.
So,
Wait,
Is Torque
so
back yet, or?
Yes.
Oh.
Torque's
Torque,
back.
do you think that we could have something with garlic in it tonight?
Yes, I make.
This is
a nice-
supposed to be a serious moment.
welcome to this campaign.
I do have a question for you, though. So you say your father helped you escape, but was it your mother that wanted you to get married?
My mother is no longer with us. It was
Sorry to
more
hear that.
fair. He knows what the best matches are. It's an arranged marriage. One for the country, you could say.
Is that general that came looking for you? Is he the one you were supposed to be married to?
Yes, unfortunately. Quite short.
I'm sorry, because that guy was kind of a douche.
Yeah.
He wasn't short. He was like 6'7".
Short-tempered, I meant. I have a 5'4"
New-
girl's opinion
Yeah.
on height.
Just then, UA likes him very tall.
Tall. Anything below 7 feet.
Mhm.
Drake me.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing this with us, but now it seems as though we are on their list. And what should we do about this situation?
It's your choice whether to keep me here or not.
So I want to keep you around.
Yeah, we're not going to just kick you off the ship.
Even though you're a vampire.
Torque,
Yeah,
Torque
as long as you don't like.
Ow!
Torque
You
will
got
hand another glass, the glass of water. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're not going anywhere. Torque will keep you safe.
And if you have to drain anyone first, make it be Chutney. He has the most.
I'll drain a watermelon first. It's both food and water.
I do have one more question. So do they know you as UA or by a different name?
A different name?
Okay, then we can keep calling you UA.
Yui is my nickname and preferred name. I changed it when I was 15.
Okay, but if we call you UA and they already know that name, then they'll probably just, like, figure it out, right?
They've paid attention.
You can have a name like Dylan
Yeah.
and Bob.
Bob
And
X. Yeah.
We could just say why.
X and Y.
X and
God,
Y.
No,
Oh,
don't.
Z.
Everyone's going to start shipping UA and Celestian.
What about the Countess?
I mean, he's like 8 feet tall.
What about the
my
wicked
X plus Y
Countess?
equals Z.
Hear me out.
What about just the letters U and A? UA.
I'm not Unearthed Arcana.
God. Oh, very good.
What do you mean very good?
No, didn't know you knew that was a thing.
You only say it so often.
Well, I ask you this because maybe we could stage it so that something happened to the princess that they know.
You would have to use magic for that.
I'm talking fake your death.
Sadly, we don't have anybody who can cast magic spells.
We cannot leave any DNA then. Or else I'll
What's
find it.
DNA?
No traces?
No traces.
There we go.
So
I
what's the
see. Well, not gonna lie, at the moment, we might have a few bigger fish to fry, so we can put a pin in that for now.
Frying fish.
Bingo.
Bye.
So for now, we'll just continue to keep a low profile. Capiche?
I almost loved this ship so much that I couldn't even suggest this, but seeing as Torke has already made 2 imprints in the wall, and it's already half damaged, we could leave this part of the ship and repair it in other ways, and possibly burn my portion of the room.
What? Torke will reach
Maybe
over
not.
Torke will reach over and pick up Gideon's jaw and just like.
The Oscar.
I only put 1 hole in the ship. I mean, no holes in the ship.
We do got to get this ship repaired very soon. As much as I love to see the character that is added to it, I think we should repair it soon. But anyways, I'm not a fan of burning up part of the ship. Like I said, for now, we're not there because we're in Leiran at this point. So yeah, they're not on our back at the moment, but we'll just keep a low profile for now.
We definitely have a low profile here, especially because we just competed in the Arena of Blood on live.
Public arena of all.
Y'all compete in that arena? They still have that?
We were trying to rescue you. That's what we did to rescue you. At least I think so.
Son of a bitch. Okay. Let's see. They knew you as... Wait, who was this captain you were talking about?
Erdlac, he's gone. He took the Red Mantis.
That was the fellow that had the anchor. Okay, it makes sense now.
Yes.
They knew you as his crew, correct?
Well,
He
we
was
were
the
all
captain?
introduced by our names.
Son
rather-
of an actual bitch.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
They're like, Precordium, he's a monster. Yeah.
I see.
They would not call us Bob and Dylan.
See. All right, so new plan. We should probably get off Leiran. It's a huge spaceport, so it's easy to blend in.
We could just go to a different section and not be here anymore. I mean, where does the flying fish sail out of?
Good ass question. Can I go to a shipmaster or someone nearby?
Yeah, you'd have to go and speak to someone. I mean, we recently did make contacts with a particular gentleman about finding some information about ships that have been parking out around here.
Yeah,
that would have to be communicated by Torke and Precordium.
I mean, I don't even remember this dude's name.
It's the guy that runs that we had to pay for.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we muscled out the dwarves, we landed down and there's this guy, but I don't remember his name.
Dwarfs?
We were fighting over a parking space. I won.
I think it was Muwembe, right? What was his name? He was the
Matembe.
gentleman who took you guys. Matembe, yeah, who took you
Matembe,
to
yeah.
to
His
Mama
mama
watched
has
the
the
stream.
Mama Tay. Yeah, his mom has Mama Tay.
Where is Matembe? Where has he gone? Is he still here in the parking lot?
Matembe. Celestine's gonna drag himself off the floor because no one has tended to him this entire time.
The only healer that we have is a vampire.
Yeah, exactly. We can't trust her.
He come. He tell me flying fish. Special import. Blue glow.
Yeah.
Torque will grab Celestian by like his whatever clothes. What the flying fish? Where did you see?
Oh, my shoulders are broken. Oh, everything's broken. My tail, all four of my legs, my arms, my ribs. Oh,
my neck and my back. My neck and my back. I want $150,000, or we can sit out for a sandwich and it's 40.
Ryan went so hard. Don't talk about sandwiches when we just had Zorex on stream. He will have a conniption.
I'm sorry, Friday just kicked in.
I know, that was pretty funny. He said, flying fish, dock, 125, 125, crack tooth lane. Oh. Unhuman Ward.
Maybe we should get healed up and stuff. You look rough, Celestian.
Yeah. Narclaw really gave it to me.
Yeah, why don't we just like take off, kind of find a nice place to just hang in the air for a little bit, and just sleep this off, this whole thing, and then we head to this spaceport.
Sounds good to me.
Are we able to just hang in the air with a Spelljammer, or do I have to be in the air for that?
No, you have to be powering the Spelljammer.
Can I sleep while I'm powering the Spelljammer?
No,
I don't think we want
absolutely not. If you spend too much time in the Spelljammer, in previous editions, it was incredibly bad for your.
You get a hernia.
Yeah, but in our advanced rule set, it's gonna not advanced rule sets because that's AD&D. In our 5th edition rule set, you will accrue double the levels of exhaustion that you would normally accrue for forced marches. Yeah.
All right, maybe we just like find.
That's why it's good having two helmsmen because you never really worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we find another parking spot to be at, maybe in a different ward.
Why can't we just stay here?
Because we just fought in the Arena of Blood, which is right next door to this parking space.
You know, fair.
People just attacked X and Chut.
And Celestian in this parking space.
Every time you guys say Arena of Blood, Lucky Bed just in all caps, Arena of Blood. In the
Arena
chat.
of Blood.
It's amazing.
Thanks, Lucky Bed.
Yeah, thanks.
So, how about we go over to the Unhuman Ward, go close to that dock, 125, and we rest and recuperate.
Listen, the last time we tried to park in the Unhuman Ward, it did not go well for us.
That's where Ziggy's at, right?
That's Ziggy territory.
What about the Steel District, the Steel Ward? Well, that's more so a question
He also
for...
hangs out there. He did mention the fact that he does hang out there, but it might be a better bet than the Unhuman District. Maybe we might actually pick up a lead on this Ziggy.
Jiggy.
Since I'm from... Hey, Rob, since I'm from Leiran, would I know of a better ward to go to? A closer one?
You know about all the wards. You're a local. You know about all the boroughs. One closest to the Unhuman Ward that is good. Well, I mean, bordering the Unhuman Ward is what most people would call the kind of like high tier residency of the entire city, which is the Garden, which is
hub for all of the Imperial Elven Navy activity. Who knows? Maybe we could go and grease some wheels down at the naval base there and see if, mentioning a certain man's name will help you out.
Might have to call another favor to Icarus, but head over to the Garden Ward.
I love that guy.
That makes one of us. No, he's all right. He's okay.
Cool.
He's my
He's
friend.
so suave.
He's
Oh
my buddy.
goodness.
That was Justin trying to kill the Gideon Icarus shipping rumors. Okay, so you wanna take the Spelljammer up and bring her over to the Garden Ward there, Precordian?
I'll point the direction.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
I'll wheel it up. Inch my way through traffic again.
Yeah.
While they're doing
Learn how to fly.
while they're doing that, though,
I'm trying!
Torque wants to go and run and grab his blanket off of his hammock, and then scrounge around for a few like nails. And then he's gonna come back to UA's door, and then nail up his blanket over top of his hole that he created, so that it won't be wide open. And I don't know if UA's there or not, but
He is. She's slowly gathering herself.
I'm sorry about the door. But a lady should have her privacy, and so, hopefully until we can fix this will work.
You should probably get that keyhole covered up.
She looks around. What?
Nothing.
Somebody take me. Healer. Please.
Maybe you can help Celestian, before he passes out again.
Yeah.
Should I try bless on him then?
No.
So help on your
Here's the
death
macro.
save.
The macro. Bless.
Wait, it's my first time last bless. Sound like a warlock.
Okay.
Well, you don't no, you don't want to do that. He's not poisoned or anything. He just needs a patching up so you can do some some acupuncture or something on him. You don't have to actually heal him if you don't want to. He can just rest up and heal, but for roleplay purposes, just
I lay him out.
lay him out. Damn, just knock him the fuck
I
out.
lay him out.
Punch him in the shoulder.
I'm right up blood.
Jeez, the bruiser.
Yeah, right. I mean, what other form of anesthetic did people have for fantasy medieval times?
I roll out this extremely long leather band with all the acupuncture needles you would ever think existed.
I feel like
And I
I should
just-
leave this room.
You're driving. What are you doing here?
Oh shit!
Yeah, you hear, oh, not again!
Can everybody leave so I can do this, please? She takes her paintbrush, whisks it up, and all the needles fly up and slam into him at once. And you see him pulsate and drop.
Oh,
He's
And
dead.
you killed.
No,
You killed Celestian.
no, it's acupuncture. And you see the ends of the needles radiate blue glow. And he feels better.
Oh,
Instantly.
I thought I was dead. Feel better now. Feel brand new.
Your spine is now aligned.
Oh
You
yeah.
have scoliosis in 3 places.
You repin all bones. No broken tail,
All bones.
broken rib. Shut up, Precordian.
The 7th appendage.
Yep. There he
He like
is.
him 7 foot and above.
Which appendage are we talking about?
His tail.
Oh.
It's got a very long
Yeah.
tail. Not his 7th appendage. Even though
Well
that is his
endowed
tail.
tail.
You guys are the worst.
You know what they say about dragons
This
with
stream
big
not
tails.
brought to you by any sponsors
It
ever.
matches
because keep
something.
our content. Okay.
Well, I was going to say I had a perfect one, but I'm going to leave it alone because it'll get us in more trouble. So I'll just stop because it was perfect for
No, please.
long
Pass
tails.
it.
Come on. I know you. Come on.
I was just going to go. We could easily get Magnum condoms that could, or something like that would do the, sponsor us potentially. You asked for it. I was going to leave the joke alone.
This stream sent to you by Celestian's enlargement pills.
I have seen Twitch streams that have Durex commercials on them.
If you want the best, go find Celeste.
Celeste got that direct.
All right.
I'm sorry if there's any children that are watching and don't understand what
Yeah,
prophylactics are.
don't have any. No one have.
All right, we'll change into a new direction.
One
How
direction.
do I need to mute myself because we're both on the same mic. Anyways.
So how's that garden district looking?
Right. So let me describe something nice. Oh dear God, lucky bed. Don't Google anything that they're talking about. The Artemis weaves its way incredibly slowly and truncatedly through traffic, Precordium, upsetting every single person that he possibly could on his way out of the jungle.
Sorry.
Where's your L plate?
U-turns here.
Who gave this guy a license?
Wait, we have license? We have licenses?
Hell no! Realm space is a free space.
Wrong space, brother.
It's like with like a bunch of stuff like stacked on the top with a rocking chair, grandma on top.
It's a pickup truck.
Yeah.
Or a cowboy treetop.
Okay, so as you veer out of the high terraced, like bioorganic tree jungle-like amalgamation of urbanized living, you are presented with a like low temperate forest, a woodland that is much smaller in stature than the jungle trees of the Jungle Ward, but incredibly regimented, refined, and proportioned. It's as though every single conifer and evergreen tree has been pruned or preened to a identical dimension. Sticking out from the top of the tree line are these marvelous crystalline, almost like turquoise glass spires, some of which tower high and far above even the tallest jungle tree of the jungle. In the center, the very center of this ward, in the middle of the great forest, is a spire that almost looks entirely inverted, a ginormous crystal pyramid that has terraces on which are being like grown great firs and like woodland fauna and flora. You see waterfalls cascading down its side, a megalith of incredible elvish architecture.
That's where we need to park right there.
You know that is a hotel come military base known as the Vaulted Gardens. Only the highest members of Leiran / even Realm Space, even further society of all Wild Space society come to stay here.
Like pop stars.
Yeah, like pop stars and
Vampires.
and men with diamond hands, things like that.
All right, if you park here, I'll go talk to the ship dock master and see if I can call in a favor or two.
All right. Do I see an obvious place where nobody is pointing lasers at me for me to park?
Yeah, you see, like, along the entire eastern section of the highest platform on this upside-down pyramid,
is a clearly like a shipping like dock where a bunch of spelljammers have taken parked up.
What? Wings!
Oh, yes.
Wait. Oh, my bad.
Chutney pulls and it's my boo boo. Chutney has only suffered like a very mild bruise on one of his fingers after the assault. But,
I think he's got like a big band, like an X bandage on his tummy, you know?
Yeah.
He is not King
but, like,
Hippo.
and if you
from
take it off, he's got like the
Mike
tiniest
Tyson's
little
Punch
cut
Out.
on his
Yeah,
belly.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yui strolls right up to Chutney.
Okay.
Kisses her finger. Taps his boo boo.
Oh, thank you, you.
Yes, bless.
Yes.
I cast watermelon.
Bless thee.
I bless you with watermelons.
So, as you bring the spelljammer down, you see stepping out onto the crystalline glass plane that the other spelljammers are all perched on is a very well dressed and dapper, like golden haired, almost like starry eyed elf.
Greetings. Name's Gideon Valiers. You the quartermaster, the shipmaster.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gideon. No, I am the concierge.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Concierge. I'm here on official business because of Captain Admiral Icarus.
Come here on official business. Well, that makes a lot of sense. And he very much side-eyes the Artemis and looks it up and down.
Icky and I were good friends, and you can put it on his tab.
That's right. Do you have a official endorsement?
I've got a picture of us together.
Yui behind her
group
back.
selfie.
It's like Praecordium at Icarus Con with a picture with Commander Icarus.
No, he pulls out, and you see like this small version of Praecordium with a like still the same sized head. Like he's like a little like toddler with still the same sized head. He's in a little pirate outfit with a scimitar in his hand, and he's smiling, and he's standing next to Icarus and he's doing this. See, this is me, and this is Icarus.
Torque will just kind of like push them all out a little bit, and then we'll pull out his cleaver and present.
Oh god!
He will literally just
Present an option.
He will present it. This was given to me by Admiral Icarus.
He tilts his head, curious, like why on earth would Admiral Icarus give this strange-looking Hadozi a cleaver? But he extends his hands forward. May I see?
Yes. Be careful.
Okay. And as he takes the cleaver, he holds the flat head of the cleaver in one hand and the handle in his fingertips in the other. He looks it up and down, and then runs his finger along the back side of the handle. Oh. This is truly exquisite. Yes. It has the official written seal of Captain Icarus himself, blazoned on its shaft.
Yes.
Perhaps there is some truth in what you say.
There is truth. We are friends.
Good. Do you have any official identification? Any documents? Any?
Yes, right here. And she whisks her brush and procures papers.
Oh.
And to all of us, it says endorsement. To him, it looks like an actual endorsement.
What is this?
It's endorsement papers. It's like 10
Endorsement.
pages. It just says
What?
endorsement on every sheet for
When
us,
did-
but it looks like
what-
it to you.
But what is
Oh.
this? Like,
Oh, okay. So it just says endorsement on a piece of paper and nothing else.
But what does
Just-
he? But he sees something different.
But you see something different.
What do I see?
what
Whatever
allows
you
you
need
to do
see.
that?
Yeah. Why does this happen? How do you make this happen?
Why does this
My
happen?
gifts.
Huh?
I use my gifts.
That's not how your gift works.
Yes.
It is now.
No, it's not.
It is now,
I
bitch.
wrote your ability. I know how it works.
Right in this ability right now. You wrote it.
No, I mean, if it was illusory script as a spell, then yes.
Canon. See?
No. Christina's just making up.
Listen, illusory script is underused as it is.
It's all in Mandarin. You can't read it.
Oh, okay. There's your excuse.
Okay.
So what is? I mean, is there something that your thing does? I don't even know what you have.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't.
It just looks like proper papers, you know, the classic.
I mean, if you present him like your official identification papers, that's different. If you're saying you're producing like forged or faked or illusory papers, you need to have an ability that allows you to do that. You can't
just write it in.
No.
I don't think Torque even has papers.
Oh, Torque definitely has papers.
Oh, well, then he will
Ones
pull
that
out.
were given to him by
Oh.
a certain organization.
Yeah, Torque will then run. Wait a minute. He will sprint back up. And
Torque is bad. Bad memory, Torque.
like climbing up. Yeah, well, no, I wasn't thinking because of. I was thinking because of things that, they wouldn't have. So he would run back up to where his backpack knapsack is hung up by next to the the hammock, and then he will rummage through it rather frantically, and then pull out this crumpled some papers that are kind of folded and they're old and a booklet, and then sprint back down like jumping off of and just like one hand sliding down the legs of the Artemis, and here's Torque's papers.
So he takes this very messy set of papers and a booklet that on the front of it, if anyone cares to look at it as he's opening it up, says Sergeant Torque. So he opens it up and he starts to flick through it. Oh, well now this makes a lot more sense. What about the rest of you?
I have my picture.
Okay. And who's the captain of this Spelljammer?
How you doing? Name's Gideon.
Do you have official papers, Mr. Gideon?
Do I?
I mean, you could if you wanted to. I mean, you should do.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd have some kind of identification. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't have any identification.
No, Precordium doesn't. I assumed Yue had some form of identification, but apparently she has random.
I am an
calculated
enigma.
stuff.
I have 10 pages.
But his name's Dylan.
How you doing?
Yeah, so he takes yours, Gideon Villiers. Oh. Says here you're a for hire agent of the Zemo Termination Limited Company.
Fancy way of saying I shoot things, I get money.
Yes, that's certainly what it says. Well, very good. I'll take these to be copied by our head documentizer, and just
Can you make sure I get that picture back? It's very valuable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but he just hands it back to you.
Thank you.
I need to know who to contact in the event that Captain Icarus doesn't care much for you running up his tab. You must understand.
Of course. By the way, happen to know where he is right now? I want to come in and say hey.
Captain Icarus is not here currently, but I could potentially have a message sent to him if you were in need of contacting him.
Just tell Gideon says, thanks for covering the tab.
Very good, sir. Now, would you be interested in the standard, the deluxe, or the super deluxe experience here at the Vaulted Gardens?
Oh, the super deluxe, of course.
Would that be just for you, the captain, or for everyone in the crew?
Oh, this is a team effort, my friend. Have you seen my buddy Torke? Looks like he hasn't eaten in a few days.
Very, very good, sir. What
You
of
look
your,
kind of hungry. Sorry, buddy.
your auxiliary crew? He's standing on the deck, waving down, and Celestian's sort of leant over, clutching at his back.
Of course. Yeah, the ship will be safe here, correct? And I'll look over to the attendant.
Concierge.
Mr. Concierge.
What my name
Lieutenant
is,
Surge.
Lieutenant Surge. Roll. Roll for initiative. I choose you, Raichu.
But I didn't want to evolve Torque. He's special to me.
Torque becomes
Thunderstone out of here.
Torkekund.
I grow those other appendages we were just talking about.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
But yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Concierge.
all of her dozy. You may call me Paris.
Paris.
We're staying at the hotel.
All right, then.
You haven't met any Helens recently, have you?
That's just why she works the reception.
Listen, take it from me. Not worth it, bud. Whole lot of mess.
I don't know what you're talking about, but anyways.
Should he'll get it get in close and he'll whisper it. You remember what happened last time when you run up the tab?
Look, how was I supposed to know that they were running a gambling ring in that other room?
Well, and we got pinched for bootlegging, and then
Yeah, it was a mishap. What are the odds of that happening again?
I don't know. Torque will go start trying to figure out what the odds are, and so he'll just take his little crayons and start working on a piece of paper trying to figure out what the odds are.
Get an abacus of like three
That's the
beads.
end of Torque for the rest of the session because Torque is just going to be constantly working on that as he doesn't have the beautiful mind.
He certainly has a beautiful mind.
Oh, he does. It's just not. It's not mathematically inclined.
Very good, sir. I shall escort you to the reception desk where you can speak with our lovely receptionist Helen about your stay here.
You just want to stay here a day or two, that's all.
We hope to make it a very enjoyable day.
We really just want to park here, to be completely honest.
Well, we already signed up for the super deluxe package, Captain. We might as well indulge.
Yeah, we'll just have one day here, that's all.
Well, again, you can discuss that with Helen. I will see to it that your Spelljammer is well parked.
Gideon, the odds are Apple.
The odds are Apple.
I will keep that in mind. Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Are you sure it's not banana? It's definitely apple.
No, Torque doesn't like bananas. It's Apple.
Apple it is. And I guess we'll go over to Helen.
Okay, so you guys walk across the crystalline glassy platform into a incredibly high ceilinged reception hall. All around the room are impeccable water features, statues that have been carved from pale white and grey streaked marble of elves and fey creatures, particularly satyrs, centaurs and blink dogs, all prancing with water coming out of their mouths and into the pools of water below. Along one edge of the room is a very solid-looking marble reception desk, sat behind which is a golden, like braided-haired, prim and proper, rosy-cheeked elven woman.
How you doing? We're here for just one night, and we're on the tab of the Admiral Icarus.
Colleagues of the captain himself. Well, it's a great honor to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure to meet you. Name's Gideon Villiers.
Well, I'm Helen. It's a pleasure to meet your crew.
Hello. My name is Yue.
Hello. Now, how long will you be staying with us?
We got one good night in us.
One night, and will that be on the standard, deluxe, or super deluxe package?
It's super deluxe.
Would you like one room for all of you, or separate rooms for each?
I'll look at the crew, and say,
Separate
the
rooms with doors in between?
group and crew.
Banana!
Banana.
What about separate rooms with the doors in between?
I'm afraid it's either a bedroom with multiple rooms or separate single suites.
Up to you, Captain.
Let's go with the separate single suite.
Wonderful, sir. A very very good and expensive choice. And
Do I look like I'd have anything? I'll pick anything less. Do I look like it?
Like a gentleman of refined taste, sir.
Now we're talking, Helen.
I'm sure Captain Icarus only keeps the finest of company. And
He's not gonna like this.
she'll take
The odds are
individual
just
keys.
apple. It's okay.
That are like welded platinum keys, the ends of which are shaped like butterfly wings.
Here you go. Please enjoy your stay here. As you are on the super deluxe package, you have full access and unlimited use of the spa. You are invited to come and dine at our much celebrated restaurant, the Celestial Boar, and you each get a butler with your individual rooms.
One quick question.
Yes, my dear.
Do you have any sandwiches?
Sandwich. Yes, we have a club sandwich. It's very good.
Wonderful. We'll take the lot.
All of them?
The lot. I
I don't think you understand our order. You believe that we just want a lot of club sandwiches. What we really mean is we want all of the club
All of them.
sandwiches.
Do we have to become members to get the sandwich?
No, not at all.
Oh, well, you have to be a member of a club normally.
No. They're called club sandwiches because the meat inside is beaten with a club by an ogre before they're served to you.
Oh, do they come in little forks, triangles, and sometimes you can put chips or maybe potato salad in the middle?
Present to it however you want, sir.
What about frilly toothpicks?
Yes. Every sandwich comes with a frilly toothpick, sir.
Mini umbrellas in the drinks?
Yes. Made from silk.
Chocolates on the pillows.
Yes, of course.
He's not
Hey,
gonna like this.
Hey, a quick question for you. So, I had a buddy outside that he was just looking at the hotel and he was just wondering, man, I wish I had the money for it. Just at a guess, how much would you say it would cost for all this together? So I can go out and tell him.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you, each with your own
So-
individual rooms.
Wait, 7 Celestian. Oh wait, no, that is 6.
Yes, the Mr. Giff and your Dracon friend. So each for one night in the super deluxe suite, it's going to cost 500 gold per person. So, for each of you, that would be 3,500 gold pieces.
3,500 or just 3,000?
No, 3,500.
Per
Is
person.
this tax?
No, not per
Oh,
person. Altogether, 500 each.
500 times 6 is 3,000.
There's 7 of you. Oh no, there's 6. Sorry, I was confused. Somebody said there were 7 of you, but I realized that was probably in reference to your nice gentleman's 7 limbs.
Yeah. Good to know. Thanks, Helen. Mind if I pinch your cheek? Can I pinch your cheek?
Of course, sir.
Thanks, Helen.
I'm gonna,
I will look to the.
I'm gonna
I will look
spit in
to the
that
group
guy's
and
club
say,
sandwich.
Pray.
Yes.
These keys are worth more than Torke has in his pocket.
And you better not lose it.
Oh yes, that reminds me that if you lose the keys, there is a 2,000 gold surcharge that will be placed on your room.
2,000.
Yes, they're made by a much celebrated artisan from Grey Space.
Boy.
For kicks and giggles, how much for the one big room?
One
Just for
big
kicks
room?
and giggles.
Oh, it's 2,000
Yeah.
gold for the big room.
Everyone, give me your keys real quick.
Don't lose it.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna go with the one big room. Hope you don't mind.
Oh. I'll have to call up the butlers and tell them to.
Well, we still get one butler, right?
Yes, you get one butler for one.
Okay. At least there's that.
I believe his name is. You'll be served by Jeremiah.
Gotcha.
Good.
I will turn to the group and say, we get to live like kings for one night. Kings and queens, my bad. Don't mess it up. Enjoy yourself, but don't lose the key, most importantly.
I'll take the key then.
Well, do you not want a key for each of you?
Torke doesn't want a key.
No, I don't
No.
want one.
No.
Oh, that's
Clearly look after the key.
very good.
All right, Miss Yue. There you go.
Is this one of the card reader ones that never work?
It's an actual physical key. Okay.
It's fun. It should be strong.
As we
So
walk off,
we're waiting in the lobby. A goblin, a green goblin, with pointed, almost like
opposed to
nicked
the orange
ears,
ones.
and typically brown most of the time in at least in realm space. With like a very much like slicked over, greased black comb over. Starts walking towards you. He's wearing a like dovetailed tuxedo. And he's got his hands behind his back. And he's wearing little white gloves on his hands. Now, would sirs kindly follow me to their rooms? I will be your butler for the evening. You may call me Mr. Jeremiah.
Nice to meet you, Jerry.
Pleasure. Now, could I interest you in some muffins? And as he pulls his hand out from behind his back, there is a plate of blueberry muffins on a silver platter.
I would love one. Thank you, Jerry.
Do you have an ETA on the club sandwiches or not yet?
Club sandwiches. I could make them in your room, sir, as soon as we get there.
well, maybe we should go now, before we regret this.
Agreed.
I already do.
Jeremiah is gonna lead you all into a like this huge crystal shaft that has a see-through box hanging in it by a chain made from like sparkling mithril. He pulls down a horn, like a brass horn that is on a adjustable pipe. He speaks into it. Presidential suite, and he'll shove the horn back on to its place, and then the chain starts kind of cranking upwards.
We see what? Do we see like through the pillar what's pulling the chain?
Yeah, if you look down at the bottom of the shaft, you see that there is a very sad-looking ogre just pulling the chain.
Are there two of these like in there? And are they glass around us? Is there, or what is it?
Yeah, it's a very special.
So is there one like next to us?
Biocrystal grown by the elves.
Yes. I'm imagining as we're going up, there's another group coming down, and there's a gif with like a little gnome strapped to his chest with sunglasses, and two other guys, one with a bleeding mouth, and going down.
I thought you were going to say there's like a Shao woman, a green dude, a man wearing silver goggles, a chimpanzee, Hadozi.
No, I was going with the Hangover. I was trying to get the
Hangover. Yeah.
The gel spammer.
I was thinking there was another ogre on the other end of the chain to the counterweight, like hanging from it.
Different ogre.
I was thinking, somebody once told me the world is
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right. So, what time of day is it, by the way?
So you guys arrived here in the late afternoon / early evening.
But it's the moon, isn't it? Just dark.
I know
all the
it's
time?
like it's always dark on the moon, but like in terms of your internal clocks, it's late afternoon, early evening. Okay.
All right. Because we still look pretty battered and beaten, don't we?
Yeah. A long rest would not go amiss, I think.
All right, everybody. The night is waning.
One night in Sharn and the world's your oyster.
Okay. So
right.
Presented with this 3-story tall, 6-bedroom presidential suite that's complete with like a grand porcelain harpsichord for people to play music if they want to. There are like bookshelves lined with expensive limited edition books. There is a bar, even a back kitchen for Jeremiah to make you guys food and snacks in. There are like plush sofas, a fiery hearth with like a crystal chimney that leads directly out of the roof of the vaulted gardens, and lastly there is a greenhouse that is attached to the room itself. What do you call them? Like a horticultural biome where
Solarium?
I think that might be the right word. Basically, it's like a synthesized environment, one where tropical plants can grow where they probably not.
Oh crap! Polyshore's is going to be locked in there.
Polysure.
It's Biodome.
All right, ladies and gents. I say we reconvene in maybe like 6, 7, maybe 8 hours. I don't know. And then we are going to find this flying fish. But for now, enjoy yourselves and thank Icarus.
He's not going to like this.
Okay. So
probably right.
So you go to your incredibly plush and plump beds. What has to be one of the most like wonderful night's sleep that most of you have experienced. There's certainly for Chutney. You hear Chutney just yelling from the other room. Yes! How refined! Bring me another watermelon, Jeremiah. Can I get some watermelons in the chat, please? Yeah. And I think that's where we'll take our quick 5-minute break, Ryan, where you guys can long rest up your sheets, and we will see if we can't progress the search for anything that we might try to find tomorrow.
All right. I will take us a break. And And we're back.
Alrighty, we're back live. Welcome to anyone who joined us over the break. It's good to see you here. For those of you who've been here, thank you for sticking it with us for the last 2 hours. But we're going to try and bring you on through for the next hour and 10 at least. See if we can't run up a bigger bill, go into the mini fridge and ruin everything that Icarus has ever saved up for himself.
Gideon's probably over like lifting every one of the jars of the nuts and the different things off of there that triggers it to, a little switch. And zips a
Then he
line
puts
down.
it back down, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's too late. They're already,
They're already charged you, and then he does it again. It just like keeps going, like endless cycle.
One of them.
You always just sat down playing the instruments.
Yeah.
It's like Icarus has like his mobile phone. It's like, you've been charged $2. You've been charged $2. You've been charged $2.
He keeps buying all these V-Bucks.
It's more like
V-Bucks.
Oh God.
Who's John Wick? And why does he need my help?
This is the most expensive peanut bill.
Yeah, who spent 20 gold on peanuts?
What kind of peanuts is this?
We didn't know, but Dracons really like peanuts.
And cashews.
Cashews, yeah. Delicious. Terrible for the environment. All right. So, everybody
All right,
wait.
let's blow this
Right,
popsicle
Deb.
stand.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed the next morning, though you'd slept on a cloud.
I'm gonna leave my sheets all over the floors.
Wow. Rebel. What a rock star.
Yui's room looks completely untouched. She just puts it back.
We're all sharing the same room.
Her corner.
No, you all have separate rooms, but like
Oh.
It's the same corner.
there's six bedrooms, and you're all staying in like this 3-story suite.
And there's a common room or whatever.
And there's a common room, there's like a music room and bar, and then there's a kitchen room and a adjoining I didn't even check what the word was for this, but like a terrarium almost.
Precordium's room is trashed, but trashed in the sense that he doesn't know what a dirty room looks like, so he threw the sheets everywhere and put a pillow in a corner and then said it was good.
He's always wanted to trash a hotel room.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And rebellious.
Okay.
Slept like a baby in a candy shop.
A baby in a candy shop would sleep?
Yeah. After ate all the sugar, they'd crash. And that was me. Either way, I hope y'all feeling nice and relaxed and rested, because we got business ahead of us.
Yes, frying fish. We have to go find the frying fish.
I feel
Bye.
Fine.
incredible. Oh, all 7 limbs. Spry.
You've still got... I'm gonna pull acupuncture pin out of the back of his neck.
I can talk normal now. Oh my god. I'm fixed.
Thank you. I'll have that.
Still
There
speak
you
like
go.
this.
But do you drop it in my hand, or do you place it? Because if you
No, I
drop it,
put
there's
it-
the chance.
He just
Okay.
pins it in.
He just pins it in my
Yeah.
hand. That's what I expected him to do.
No, I'm not mean. What do you think I am? A vampire?
No,
Okay.
he's the heartbreaker of death.
Mr.
I thought we discussed not bringing that up.
Mr. Gideon, sir.
This is Jeremiah?
Oh yes, sir. This is me, Jeremiah, your custodian, sir.
How you doing, Jerry?
Fantastic, sir. Such a pleasure to serve.
Yes,
I have your final check here, sir.
like I said, forward that over to my buddy Admiral Icarus.
You don't want to take a look here at it before I send it off, sir?
Before you
Yeah,
finalize
I'll give
that,
this-
we have some jam muffins for the road.
Well, oh, of course, Mr. Precordium. I have them all set out in a nice little box that I made for you.
Thank you.
He's like
I
fashioned,
will-
like whittled a perfect wooden and lacquered box over the.
Why
course
did you
of
make
the-
mine all blueberries?
What are you trying to say?
It's the only kind of muffin I make, Mr. Precordium.
Very on brand.
Sweat. Sweat.
Sweat, visible sweat.
I will take a look at the bill.
You take a look at the bill, and you see that it's not 2,000 gold as you first thought. It's now 4,000 gold.
Where the hell does other 2,000 come from?
Well, sir, it's mainly for special services, sir.
What special service?
Who got special services?
It says here, sir, special order delivery of 12 salinated watermelons, sir.
Does it now?
Hmm.
And I will, with the biggest grin on my face, look over to our good old buddy Chutney, like, how many watermelons did you eat?
Sorry, me, sir?
You.
Wait, wouldn't this be the perfect opportunity to frame Chutney?
What?
We should check his room to make sure that it wasn't him. It couldn't have been Chutney. He wouldn't do this to us, would you, Chutney?
I do what, sir? I was told to enjoy myself.
You're gonna open up the door to his room.
It's just rinds of watermelons
Oh.
battered around the room. The walls have been painted in the blood of the juicy, plump, pink watermelons.
Is there any room left?
It's just all stained, like horribly.
Oh god.
All of the white sheets are now pink.
That's how you trash a hotel room.
Take notes.
Then we might need to have a word about your addiction. And yes, I said addiction.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
This is a chatvention.
A chump bench.
Icarus is not gonna like this.
Thank you for showing us this bill. Pleasure to meet you, Jeremiah. I think we'll be going now, and I will hurriedly push Chutney out.
Where are we going? I had some
We get
German
your
muffins.
ass out of here.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
Yes, sir. Don't understand what I've done.
Oh wait, Chutney,
I don't understand what I've done.
You did tell him to enjoy himself. That's on you, Captain.
Nick is in the chat. Defend.
Don't you disable it.
Chutney. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Don't you lay a finger on him.
Like, I'll leave.
Because of the Wani's influence in Wild Space, everything, like all fruits, are incredibly expensive, just like they are in Japan in real life. It's just a culture thing.
Good to know. Good to know. Y'all don't know the hunger.
Chuck does.
I
There's a void that
don't
cannot be
think
filled.
Icarus is going to want to help us get in.
We'll just pick up a few extra bounties that he sets out, some of the more dangerous ones, and we will come out victorious.
Listen.
Alright,
Oh,
Okay,
Let's go.
down the crystal shaft.
speaking
room.
of dangerous bounties.
Ellen waves.
Let's go find
Goodbye.
a fish.
You guys on the Artemis now?
no, before we walk out and as Helen is waving, Torque will look at you. Key. Don't forget to turn in the key.
She has it in her hands. I have not lost it.
But we have to give it to her.
Hammond, here you are.
Oh, thank you very much. Have a
you for the-
pleasant day. I hope you had wonderful steak.
Chutney.
It was memorable.
The chutney short. It was amazing. I must come back.
I'm just slowly patting him on the back.
I didn't know that you could ever provide so many watermelons. Next time I'll order twice as many.
Yeah. Thank you.
But they were
Helen.
all free. Should I tell him or?
No, it's all right.
It's fine.
It's
We will tell
It's
him
fine.
eventually.
Gideon is so hardcore regretting ever bringing this gift aboard the ship.
So, the Unhuman Ward. Let's head that way. Oh, we still have parking.
Oh.
Wait, do we know where Cracktooth is?
Yeah, that's where we're going.
But do you know where it is?
Yeah.
Dock 150 something. So
125. Dock
It was
125 and
125.
Unhuman.
Lot 125, yeah.
Oh my goodness, I totally messed that up. I would have brought us somewhere completely different, honestly. We would be lost if no one had said anything, because I was sure it was 150 something.
We've just been at some old bugbear's house, let us in. It's like, oh, nothing's here.
This is where we find out. Yeah.
There's no question markers here. Do you have anything for us?
We've violated the law. It just cycles through dialogue lines.
It is a lovely day.
Okay. So you guys want to take the Artemis up and out of the Crystal Spire and down into the dilapidated slum ward of the Unhuman Ward.
I thought we were walking there because it was close.
It's not nowhere in the Leiran Space Port is truly that close. If you wanted to go there and leave the Artemis stationed here at the Lofted Gardens, you would take one of the alternative modes of transport, or spend hours walking between location and location.
That was the whole reason why we parked there.
I thought
that's
the
why
parking was just
confused.
for us
We
to
just
get
want to
a
take
long
a
rest.
rest. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, definitely,
And
totally.
it only costs 4,000.
Okay. So there are multiple forms of transport. So you have the expedited canalways, on which are these ginormous skiffs that people will load into almost like a bus.
Get on!
A space gondola.
Yeah.
Gifts. Get on!
Get on.
Tally ho!
All aboard. Yeah, and it's powered by some magical. So you'd have to do a check to know actually powers it, but it's essentially a waterborne bus that goes much faster than anyone could travel by foot. Besides that, there are regular carts. You could take a cart that or horse-drawn cart or some other measure of drawn cart through the city. And lastly, the quickest way of traveling through town is the Lightning, a electrified, Arcana Punk style train that links up from the center of the hub, which is actually beneath the Lofted Gardens, and has many lines that go out and then ring around the central ward. The amazing thing about the Leiran Space Port is that it's planned on concentric rings, so everything's very measured and equal. It's not a grid system, it's like a circular system instead.
Which is
So
the least expensive?
The least expensive is the canal system, which is essentially the slowest because obviously you have to go on the built-in canal pathways, and the canal boats don't go anywhere near as fast as the train. But it's less expensive than the cart. The like probably like the cheapest option, but like for like cost versus time spent is the lightning, because it's cheaper than the cart and quicker than the cart, but obviously it's a public space, whereas the canal is like a quarter of the price, but twice as long.
How much for what do you do, 4 tickets or 6 tickets?
Yeah, who are you taking?
On-
Are you leaving any of your gifts or Celestians on the ship?
I would
Typically,
vote
you leave one, right?
I
What did you
think,
say?
Typically, you leave one, right? So
Yeah.
I think that Chutney needs to be punished, so he comes with us. He normally likes to sit on the ship and work on his projects or whatever. I think he deserves a little time away from his favorite activities.
That's some sound reason. Plus, he can work off some of that extra watermelon that he's been eating.
It's all right, Chutney. They don't mean it.
What do you
I
mean?
do.
Look at me. I'm enormous.
Yes, you're very
Yes,
tall.
you could be one of the gifts that lies in the river and are ridden upon.
Yes, I'm doing a watermelon.
Nick's saying it's just water.
it's just waterway.
He'll pee it all out.
I guess you can't leave Chutney home.
Just don't
by
press on my
mountain.
belly too hard.
Celestia, do you mind watching the ship for now?
As you command, Captain.
So, how much for 5 tickets?
Okay, 5 tickets. So you want to go from the like central station by the Lofted Gardens. Again, there's like a waterway, almost like metro line system, that goes up and around and down into the Unhuman Ward. It'd be like one zone to one zone, so it only costs you 5 silver per person.
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so 2.5 gold total for 5 people.
Do we have a
I was
group
scammed, so I
loot?
don't have very much money left. I'm pretty sure you got the last bounty, like you just took it, so I don't think we have a group loot.
Okay. In that case, I will procure 2.5 gold, and I'll just do it from the 300 we got earlier. And there you go.
Okay, so you pay the gift on the skiff.
Very good. Well, all aboard for Cracktooth Lane. You sound
Oh, yeah?
remarkably familiar. Yes. So do you, sir.
There's 2 of them.
God, get them away from each other. If they touch, the space-time continuum will rip in half.
Do they both love watermelons?
Don't cross the
All
streams.
good love watermelons.
So you guys sit on the canalway that wraps around up and into the tree line and away past Crystal Spires and then into the shockingly underdeveloped and tarnished Unhuman Ward people are living in. Incredibly cramped, looks like plywood thick walled tenement buildings. Vagrants wander the streets. Clearly, the people of the Unhuman Ward have not had a fair shake of the stick. You hop off at Cracktooth Lane Station, where you see like a group of goblins all playing knucklebones in the corner of the station, throwing their knucklebones into a pile in the corner, flipping each other coins and punching each other in the face as one another cheats and wins and loses the game.
You stay close the Torke. This is not a safe place for you.
Okay. She just wraps her arm inside of his, which is like just trying. Just tiny little arms.
What about me?
Stay close to me too, pray.
And on the other arm, it's like a dad walking his kids down at the grocery store.
We're
with
we're
one
just
in
two
each.
like really skinny kids, just like flailing off of him.
Okay. So you guys disembark from the station and down onto this like side street level, and you start walking from 150 Cracktooth Lane down to 125.
Do we see the frying fish? I mean, the flying fish.
You don't see the flying fish. So when you get to 125, you're probably like a little bit taken aback, a little confused, because in front of you, instead of there being some sort of docking station or like open expanse for a ship to land, there's actually a like black flagstone temple, one that has been crafted with the very angular and aggressive shapes of a warlike battlement.
Not what Torke thought would be here.
Do I know what this temple is too?
You can roll me a religion check to see if you know what this temple is dedicated to.
Can I try to give him some guidance?
Yeah.
Boom. You got it.
Well, thankfully, I got an 11, so we know everything.
Did you roll your guidance as well?
I did. It's a total of 11.
That big fat 9 on the first one.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, you're not particularly familiar with this iconography. You would mark the architectural structure at the very least to be incredibly foreign, something not typically found within the realms of this crystal sphere.
Yeah. I was totally expecting like Maguglia or something. Have no clue what this is.
What is Magulia?
He's a goblin god. Kinda interesting. You should read up on him. Oh, wait. Maybe I'll read to you about him.
And Torke will wipe a little tear away from his eye.
How bad was I?
A temple to an unknown god. This sounds interesting. I will knock on the door.
You knock on the door. It's a very thick hardwood door. You kind of slam on it. The brass knockers on the front door shake as you do so, but nobody responds.
I'm gonna open it then.
Yeah, check if it's unlocked before telling Torque to smash it.
So you push open the heavy wooden doors, and as you do so, you reveal inside a hallway of immense proportions. The temple clearly is not leveled or tiered. So from the outside, it looked like probably like a 3-story tall building. But now that you're inside, you see that the entire room is just open all the way up to the peaked center. On either side of the like main thoroughway are these two incredibly large walls that are almost like semi-translucent, but the walls themselves at the very ends are made from another like black flagstone material. But in between the two pillars is this glass of like the swirling purple, almost like alien crystalline material. The whole room like kind of radiates with the suffusion of magical light that is being given off by these strange walls.
Hello? Anyone home?
Okay. As you say hello, Torque, you notice that there is a glow coming from the end of the hallway. It's humming, flickering on and off. A light blue tone.
It sounds like kind of like what he heard before.
Yes. You couldn't mistake it.
He'll just start walking his way. That's the sound. Gideon, that's the ship from the ship that we saw. The
Do I know
sure?
what these walls are made out of?
You can roll me a Arcana check to see if you know what they're made of.
9.
No.
Torque, are you sure that's the sound that you heard?
yes,
Are you positive?
I don't. Yes.
Torque kind of feels a little uncomfortable but and agitated in a sense, maybe potentially. As his, he's so excited that he wanting to find out what's going on. I'm assuming Gideon probably senses the tension in his voice and the intent of what he wants.
As you make your way halfway down the hall, you see before you a stone altar, behind which is a colossal statue, one that looks like a pig-nosed, red-skinned humanoid holding up two jagged, almost like cookery-like blades, one at face level and one above his head. The creature is broad-shouldered and wears heavy, scaled armor that has the symbol of a tusked skull on its chest. In front of the statue is again a raised dais on which is a white stone altar, and kind of knelt over in front of the altar, its silhouette being enwreathed by the glowing blue light, is a creature that's body looks like it's covered in a shining carapace. As you get closer, Torque, it stands up to its full height, around 6 feet tall, and turns to look at you. And as it turns to look, you see that its head is almost like reminiscent of a full helm, but is in fact the stalagmated or like layered insectoid plated face of a bug, but it has two very short antennas coming out from the top of it. You see the blue hum is coming from a crystal embedded on its forehead. As it turns, you see like its shoulders are slightly bumped and spiked in places, and that its plates are kind of caressing around what would be a very svelte and humanoid form.
So, all I see is a bug's face and these bug-like. Oh wait a minute, let me move this.
You might want to move that so that the people can see it.
I don't know if I crap.
It looks like it's Rob's face
pop it back up
on,
again.
the,
Can you pop
on,
it up again?
on the armor.
It's hard for me to
Where?
move that. There we go.
So like make it a bit smaller. There you go.
I think Torque will kind of get in a defensive stance in a sense, because it's a bug.
but then look at him. Don't attack me, Bug. I just want the head, the crystal.
I'll run up right beside Torque to kind of calm him down.
Okay. You're up beside him, and as Torque is imploring this creature for the crystal, it tilts its head to the side. My crystal?
You slowly creeps up.
I saw in a dream the crystal smashed into my head, and then I passed out, woke up. Yes, I seen it in dreams.
So the creature starts to walk towards you, and as he does, his feet clack on the ground as some spiked spurs on his heel drag across the floor, and he reaches over towards you as if to touch your face where you were suggesting the crystal touched you.
Torque is like cringing and turning his head. Don't hurt me, Bug.
Why would I hurt you?
Because bugs hurt Torque.
It lowers its hand. Torque. Name. Torque. Rank.
Yeah.
Sergeant.
Yes, that Sergeant Torque. Yes.
It turns to look at you. As it does, you see the crystal on its forehead flares red. And as the forehead flares red, the bionoid stands up and its body starts to crack. As though its plates are ripping and separating apart. It starts to grow until it towers above you, 13 feet tall, and far broader, more stocky than it was before.
Oh no.
Kill. Terminate. Destroy.
I told you bugs are bad. Oh,
Can
snap.
I do some sort of check on this creature, Rob? Because I know what this thing is. I want to know if Precordium does.
Starts to grow. I'll put my hand on my pistol and with a button, press it and turn to my greatsword mode.
Here is what he looks like now.
Oh, man.
Holy shit.
Oh, no.
Let me quickly change his token.
Jesus.
Why'd you have to go Ben 10 on us, man, and have this thing?
This is Spelljammer heritage right here.
Oh, man.
Enter the bionoid.
What did I do?
That doesn't look good, sir.
No, it doesn't.
What?
God.
Don't terminate Torque. No. And he'll get...
When you say don't terminate Torque, the crystal has has obviously looked much smaller on its forehead now, but it flares again and it goes blue and its head kind of stutters around. Torque, help! Torque,
Kill. Destroy.
Or
I
do you
don't
know what
know.
that is?
No, I don't know why. It's... Can we get... But I don't understand. Should we restrain it or something?
Training it would help.
Can I do a
wouldn't it?
history check to see if I know anything about a creature like this?
You can roll an Arcana check to see if you know anything about a creature like
Yeah,
Let's
I
go
would think
Arcana.
so.
that. Mhm.
Oh, it's a 9.
These look nothing like
And
what Torque.
has
Oh,
I say this looks like
no.
nothing that Torque has
No,
ever
no,
experienced.
Torque's never seen anything like this before.
So nothing rings a bell why this thing would ever know his name.
Hmm.
whatever it is, it looks like it's about to explode.
Yeah, you see like electricity starts to pulse from its chest.
Let's back away. Everyone, back up.
Yue grabs Torque's hand. And
Assist.
24 feet back.
It wants help.
Destroy. Eliminate.
No, there's something it wants. Why does it want to help and kill?
There's something wrong. We have to go.
I don't know. It looks like some sort of machine. Maybe it's malfunctioning.
Getting your machine, man.
Hey, I'm just guessing here.
Can I insight?
Yeah.
Our rolls are
8.
just shiitake.
No idea.
Who are you? Why you know Torque name?
I am Eris. I am Pain. I am here to help.
I am here to destroy.
Is there an off button on his back?
He seems very conflicted.
We are here to help.
We are here to destroy.
Do you
How do
have
we help you, Eris?
Save me.
Die.
Roll for initiative.
I don't want to.
I don't
No, I don't
wanna.
want to either.
Look at that. 12, 16 for a 16.
All right, with a 16, Praecordium, Torque, and Yue are all on the same initiative. Who would like to go first?
My initiative still has Gerdlach in it.
I mean, I'll go so I can cast Bless.
Not seeing that. Let's see.
I'll go first so I can cast Bless on these people.
That's a good idea, actually.
Cast Bless. I'm gonna cast it on Torque, Precordium, and obviously Gideon.
Okay,
There we go. I fixed it.
casting Bless on all of your party members.
And I turn around and yell at
Except-
Chutney to run.
Chutney.
But I must protect the captain.
You protect me by not dying.
Yes, sir.
Okay, who wants to go after Yue, Torque, or Precordium?
I'll go next.
Okay,
Unless
Precordium,
Torque's
you're
got
up.
something up his sleeve.
Go ahead.
Would you consider this creature to be wearing armor made of metal?
No.
Okay. Then I am
Drow,
just
baby.
all natural. Then I'm just gonna try to shocking grasp at his legs. Maybe a short circuit will help. See if I hit. The rolls have been. Oh well.
20. So a 20 hits. Lightning courses up the Bionoid's leg, but it turns around, looks at you as if totally unfazed by your attack.
Oh, maybe that wasn't the wisest choice.
Immune to lightning, as we now know.
Yep. Then I'm gonna run. I'm gonna. Ooh. So this is an altar right here.
Yes, that is a raised dais with an altar on top.
Okay, I wanna shimmy behind that altar. Take cover, duck.
Okay, you're hiding behind the altar. Very
Mhm.
good. Torque, you're up.
Torque will become very excited and driven to try to figure this out. Obviously, understanding the crystal, and out of excitement, he will rage. When he rages, he will do it, though, is in a thrill. So his excitement inside of him will burst forth, and when he enters the rage, as a bonus action every turn thereafter, or until your rage is in, you can take the dash action. In addition, when a creature deals damage to you, you can use your reaction to make a weapon attack against a creature that you see. So, Torque rages, and then he will recklessly attack with his cleaver. And I know I got to roll it again, but that was a crit.
Oh, that's a crit.
I'll just still roll with the advantage. But, yeah. But it was still only, for some reason, why is it only giving me? I rolled awful damage with only a total of 11 damage on a crit. That is terrible.
Yeah, that is a low damage crit, but 11 damage is 11 damage. You swing the mithril meat cleaver up, and you catch him right beneath one of his like chest dorsal plates, wrenching up into the sinewy ligaments that connect the body beneath the plated chitin, hitting him right in the weak spot. Oh, that hurts.
I'm sorry,
I
I'm
must
just
have
trying to free you.
revenge.
Free you from life.
Does that end your turn, Torque?
That does end my turn. That's all I got.
UA, you're up. Yeah, well, you blessed, so that's your turn. Gideon.
All right, I will look at the greatsword that I made. Bonus action, shift it over to gun mode. So I'm back to 2 pistols right now. But I will look at this buddy right here and cast Fairy Fire strategically to where it only hits him.
So from the muzzle of the gun, shoots out a cloud of glimmering stardust. Roll a dex save, see how that goes. Okay, the Bionoid is now a color of your choosing.
Let's make him purple.
Purple. Okay. Let's add a nice little purple aura around him.
I'm gonna move back. 5, 10, 15. I'll be right here. And that's my turn.
Oh no. Chutney and a grenade.
Is it time to deploy the grenade, sir?
Don't hurt any of us. That is a command.
What about the surroundings?
I don't care.
Yes.
As you commanded, sir.
And he'll take the fragmentation grenade. He pulls the pin out with his teeth.
Fire in the hole!
Throws the frag grenade to the back of the room over here, so that it doesn't hit any of his friends. So the way that his fragmentation grenade works, I'm sure you've all seen the Modern Kindness Guide stat block before, but he throws a grenade up to 60 feet. Each creature within 20 feet of the grenade's detonation must make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw, taking 5d6 piercing damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. So the Bionic will roll a dex save, rolling a 11 on the save, taking the full 5d6 damage.
He's not been having a good time with these dex saves, huh?
He's got a great bonus.
Yeah.
He's got like +7, and he's
He got
Can't
lucky
seem to make
because
it great.
we rolled like poo.
So Chutney rolled 12 on the damage, and as Chutney does this, he's going to pull his sword out from its scabbard and run towards the giant insectoid beast. On guard! That will be his turn. Alright, the Bionoid now going to spin around, look at the party. I must protect,
Destroy. Kill. Kill. Destroy.
and
Oh no.
the Bionoid almost like takes off in a spinning flying kick, and as he does so, he lifts his ginormous legs now up towards Torque's neck. The small kind of spurs on his heel have now enlarged into almost the size of fully fledged blades. So here comes the hill spur, on which he rolls a 12. So a 12 will
Gonna
miss.
I
unless he
recklessly
is-
attacked.
So he has advantage.
Yeah.
Yikes. Let's hope this doesn't go another way. So for 21 to hit, so as he comes up, your guard is wide open, Torque, and he wrenches the heel spur across your chest, dealing 7 points of slashing damage. As he is coming back down, he brings one forearm to bear and tries to cut across you with a now like an extenuated forearm blade.
Okay.
Rolls a 24 to hit for 10 slashing, reduced to 5. And then as he's spinning forwards with the blade, his fist comes over his shoulder and he tries to punch you with what is now like almost like a gauntleted spiked fist. Which has advantage as well. So a 17 will
Oh
probably
my
hit.
goodness. What is
that
his plus on that?
27 to hit. That is a plus 9 on his attack to hit.
Ouch.
Welcome to the
But also, I will use my reaction to smack him because of
Okay, you're going to
my.
use your reaction to make a retaliatory attack. Thanks to your
With
Bill
advantage.
rage. With advantage, because you recklessly attack. I believe it's on
Oh, and also because of Fairy
No,
Fire.
fairy fire.
Fire fire, that's it. So you don't even need to recklessly attack. 25 will hit for a further 8 piercing damage. Oh, the pain, it's too much.
This is it. You're pathetic.
Tricordium.
Mess on someone your own size. And I'm gonna cast Enlarge Reduce on Torque to make him big.
Big talk.
Big Torque. Oh,
And again.
What the? No, I'm not casting it on him. I'm casting it on Torque, but oh well. There he is.
Big talk.
And I'm going to cower around this corner. Anything interesting going on over here? Some fire, it looks like.
Yeah, there's a few braziers, a couple of extra pillars around the walls, but yeah, nothing of too much interest to you.
Alright, that's where I'm my turn.
Talk.
He is going to swing away. Standard. No, not recklessly attack. 21 for.
But
10.
you have advantage because of these fairy fight.
Oh yeah, so we'll do that again just to see
21
what
will definitely
happens.
hit for 10 slashing.
And then he will come back, swing it around.
You have
backhand.
another D4 on there because
Oh,
you're in March.
Oh yeah, you got the
Because you're
D4,
big.
like a
Big talk.
D4.
Extra D4 for being big.
So it's a total of 12, and then he will then backhand smack him with his serrated spatula for a 20 for 12 damage. I guess he gets advantage even on that one,
Yeah.
You get advantage again.
just to see in case I got a crit, but there's no crit.
I don't think it's 12 damage either because you don't add your dex bonus to it.
Okay, so then it
so it'd
would,
be -4, so it would be
8.
8 damage.
I will go in and
8
fix
damage.
And the additional D4.
that. Oh. D4 roll.
There you
Yeah,
go.
another 4. Look
So
at
it's 12 total, anyways.
Okay, with your flurry of cleavers and spatula, you carve into the creature's almost like plated chest, and you're like hucking chunks out of the creature, but it's just standing there taking it, like as though it's like tensing itself up and taking a beating in the corner. Doesn't seem to really be moving it very much. This is one tough cookie.
That's what all Torque could do.
Please talk. We shouldn't hurt each other. You must die.
I don't understand what you're trying to do.
UA.
I dash over here up to 25 feet. And I cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
And from the tip of her paintbrush, a chain emerges and she attacks.
Spiritual weapon also get advantage?
Yes, it does. So click a plus on. If you go over here and click the plus, you should roll with advantage. So 10 won't hit, but if with advantage, 1, so that's 7. That's a miss. So so again, UA extends out her paintbrush, and as she does, a spectral brush appears in the area around the bionoid, but it swings and flails helplessly as the bionoid almost like jukes out of the way, as though sensing something over its shoulder. You see its antennas kind of like flicked up as the spiritual weapon drew near. Okay, what about your full action?
Yeah. Well, if that doesn't work, Sacred Flame.
Okay, Sacred Flame. Well, they haven't been doing so well on their deck saves so far.
You know, at least UA is very consistent with these ones.
It's a 14, which is just a pass. Why did I have to?
Consistency is key.
Go UA. Well, so long as you're making other people hit more often, that's the most important thing, eh? Gideon, you're up.
Can I see him from where I am, or is Torque blocking the way since he's big Torque?
He would currently have half cover because of Torque's giant body in his way, but you can see him.
I will move a little bit then. 5, 10. How about here?
Yeah, you're good there. You have an open shot.
You gotta
Perfect.
You gotta shoot past Torque's loincloth.
We're taking shots. So there's one roll. Let's give that some advantage.
An 18 to hit. Let's see if you can roll that critty. 13, but 25 to hit.
25 to hit for 16 regular damage, and then it'd be 2 fire damage as well. So
Just doing its work. Okay, so 16 piercing, 2 fire. It doesn't resist the fire in any way. You see the flames start to catch on the outside of its armored plating, melting some of it away.
great. First shot, second shot, bonus action, dual wielder, come through with ruin. And that will be a 26 to hit.
26 to hit for 7 piercing. Is that the first time you've hit ruin? Ruin has been a little bit on the line in previous encounters.
It's hit once or twice.
Let's
Few
hope
times.
it keeps up. Let's hope it keeps up. Remember we were making jokes about this is why you call it ruin.
I mean, it's missed a few times, but there's been a few times it's like, okay, all right, throw out some more extra damage. And I'm going to move back 5, 10, 15. And that's it.
I'm back to recording fucking high.
Okay. Chutney is going to stand between UA and the creature. Stay back, Miss UA. I will protect you. He will swing his sword with all his might and gets 1 longsword attack. Okay. He has advantage, so the 4 won't be the one we take, but instead the 21 for 12 slashing damage goes through. Aha! Take that! I can't hurt these creatures. All things deserve to be respected.
We are the apex life form. Nothing else deserves to exist. This is how it was promised.
Roll a d4, and on a 2. No, I will not harm them. Recording, it's your turn.
Oh, now you're just making me feel bad about shooting him in the back. But I'm still gonna do it.
Because that's what Dylan does.
Dylan in the name of.
I'm not recording today.
Dylan's come to play. Oh, the scorching ray.
Scorching prey.
Oh my god, scorching prey.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so with advantage, the first is a 20, the second is a 23, but even with advantage and bless, the last one's a 16, which misses. You deal 5 fire on the first attack and 9 on the second attack. 14 fire damage total. When the last one comes in, the creature turns around and crosses its giant forearms together to block the flames from hitting it in its exposed torso area.
Like an old school.
That was chutney! And I'm gonna run back around the corner.
Just like an old school Voltron or Ultron.
Well, hopefully one day we can talk about some of these things on another stream, but there's some very clear influences that this creature certainly was born from. Not by me, by the original designs. Does that end your turn, Precordian?
Yes. I cower in shame.
I am going to wield Mama's Cookies Cleaver at this thing. I forgot I got it. Advantage.
Shift. 2 18s. 18s are both going to hit. So
and then 9 damage, and then I will smack again with the spatula. I fixed it, so it's a 22 for 6 damage.
6 damage. Good stuff. Okay. Is that end your turn?
That does end my turn. Oh, I forgot to add my D4s.
No. Oh, yeah. Roll your 2d4s for being big.
There you go. There's 2 D4s. That's a total of 5 extra.
Damage. UA.
On my turn, I go up the stairs.
Up the dais.
The dais.
Up the dais, up the dais, up the dais.
And I try again.
Okay, so
With my spiritual weapon.
you command your spiritual weapon to attack once more. You have advantage, remember, so hold shift. Or press the plussy button. 14 is not going to be good enough. And a 3 on the advantage roll doesn't make any better. So the spiritual weapon misses yet again. Come on, do the signature thing. No.
Oh, I wanted the guiding bolt.
We want your guiding bolt. Do you remember last time you did it?
The big money.
Remember the time before that where it was a 1?
No, you put a hole for a guy's chest in the first encounter. Sick. Okay, so you cast Sacred Flame. So once again, the Radiant Jade Dragon comes out of the end of your wand or your paintbrush, but 14 on the dex save is high enough to once again avoid the oncoming radiance. Gideon.
Torke, how you feeling, buddy?
Torke got a few cuts.
Okay, we're gonna take him down quick. Look at this. And we're moving 5, I'm going to go diagonal, 5, 10, and we're shooting. We're taking our shots. Come through, Chaos. Yeah. And that is 25 to hit for 7 piercing and 2 fire. Next up, Ruin's gonna be doing his thing. With advantage.
1 damage.
It still misses, so.
Yeah, it missed either way.
total of 9 damage on Chaos's first shot.
Right, and we're moving back. Hang in there, buddy.
Talk strong,
That's
I'm
my turn.
okay.
Don't worry, Captain Gideon, I've got this. Avat ye cad. I shall take your head from your shoulders. I'm doing much better than I thought I would, actually. It's 22 for 6 damage. Wow. I think I've earned my watermelons, Captain.
Paying off the old watermelons, not getting new ones.
Oh no.
Can't hold him back. Please.
You cannot overpower me for long, woman. It is time for the ape to die.
And once again, the Bionoid is going to whirl up into a spinning death vortex and will kick at you with its heel spur. That's a 19 to hit for 19 slashing damage.
Yeah, well, it's... Oh, I don't get to half that?
Favorite song. Yeah, you
I
hold
get
it.
to half that.
Yeah, because you're raging. Okay.
Yeah.
And he'll come down with the forearm blade on
Can-
the
can I-
reverse once again.
Can I take my...
Go
my
for
reaction
it. You can take
just in
your-
case
your
it-
reactionary attack, just in case I kill you. Yeah. With advantage. But
Yeah.
26 will hit regardless. Let's just see if you get a crit.
Oh!
19.
I was,
Very
yeah,
close.
29 for 11 damage.
So you hit them for 11 piercing.
And a D4.
Oh, like a
and then
D4.
D4. Like a D4. Now,
Oh
now.
no. What happened? There we go. Sorry, it like chat just it went crazy. It's because I clicked the button here and it made me do something.
Lastly, it will try to put its fist into your face.
And
but
it
you
misses.
catch it on the end of your mithril cleaver, kind of like grazes past down the side of the cleaver. Like,
I'm sorry, Torke.
I don't even know who you are.
You must be destroyed.
Or you.
I am pain.
It's like getting like when all the voices in my head. Anyways,
Recordian.
I don't know if you have tummies or if they can rumble, but this will make them. And I'm gonna cast Sicky No Feel Good Ray.
Oh yeah, the feel very bad, Ray.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you have tummies.
Okay, so you're casting Ray of Sickness on.
No, Sicky No Feel Good Ray.
Yeah. Okay, but people who aren't 12 at home, I need to tell them what you're actually casting. So
My
yeah,
signature spell, Rob.
will hit for 11 poison damage, but it passes on the con save. Thus, is not sicky feely no good, i.e. poison.
No tummy rumbling.
No.
Actually, we do have a stomach.
Don't tell them our secrets.
Torque, you're up.
Well then, I'm sorry.
Torque is going to smack it again, but try to, I guess, not kill it. Like trying to like smack it, like on the top of the what he assumes is a helmet there.
Oh, are you aiming for the helmet? Or are you aiming for the crystal?
I'm aiming for I think at this point, the crystal. Torque wants the crystal, and he thinks this thing's gonna die, so he's gonna try to hit the crystal.
Okay, so you're gonna
See if I can
aim for the
dislodge it.
crystal. That's good.
I'm not gonna make the reference I thought of.
All right, let's go. Shift, click, and 19.
19 is not going to hit it in the crystal. It dodges out the way.
How dare you attack the crystal?
Do it. It's his weakness.
I come back with the mighty serrated spatula for a 26 for 5
At that
damage.
time, you smack him square in the crystal, and you watch as like his entire body vibrates.
No, the crystal, that's where my tummies are stored.
Okay. Alright. So you deal double damage on that attack, Crystal.
Oh, and I gotta add a D4.
Add a d4. So it would have been 5 damage, but it will now instead be 10 plus 2 times 2. That's 4. Minus 3. That's 1. Quick maths. Anyways. Double damage. Please don't hate me.
26 for 10.
14.
14.
14 total damage
down.
on the attack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that end your turn?
That's all I can do.
You wait.
I go for a second level spell slot
Here we go.
with guiding
Oh,
bolt.
is she gonna destroy it?
You're gonna blow him up.
No, she missed. Oh, wait a minute. Advantage.
With
roll it
advantage.
With advantage.
Oh, thank God.
13 is going to miss. The ray of moonlight surges past the head of the like stricken bionoid. It's clutching its crystal eye. Oh, I'm angry.
Just
Gideon.
wing him, Gideon. Just wing him.
Also, roll your spiritual weapon.
I know, I was going
But
to.
just going past it because we all know it's gonna miss.
Oh, it's gonna crit. Watch this.
Oh
Watch
no,
it.
I don't have any more seconds.
No, you don't use
No.
the spell slot each time you do it. You click it,
What, you know,
and it says
Click it
here.
and
No,
forget it.
no. Read 2 seconds. Consume spell slot,
Okay,
and
there
then
we go.
click it.
Thank
There you
you.
go. Well, now click it with advantage.
Thank you.
17 is going to miss. 16 will also miss. What did I say? Gideon, you're up.
I was
Just
hoping.
wing it.
Are there any other crystals on its body, or is it only the one in the head?
It's just the one on the head.
Okay, because I want to shoot it, but I also don't want to destroy the crystal. So let's move. 5, 10. I will shoot its chest again. Keep going with that. Chaos. And with advantage, that makes it a 24 to hit.
24 will hit for 7 plus 2 fire.
And then Ruin, what you got for us?
Oh.
With advantage. Let's
That's
go.
wonderful.
Let's go.
10 piercing damage.
The total of 19 damage this round.
Damage this round. So as you shoot the creature's chest this time, you see one of the dorsal plates is almost entirely removed, and as it does so, you see there's this membranous tissue that runs across the center of its chest that is now completely electrified, sparking as the bionoid, the crystal in its eye layers red.
Just a few more hits.
Self-destruct.
Come again.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Get out of the way! Quick!
Yeah, I'm moving.
Okay. Chutney's gonna. No, you can't, Christina. It's not your turn. I see you trying to move.
Cheater,
Okay, Chutney's
cheater.
gonna try and move away. Is he trying to move away?
I was using the last of my movement, I promise.
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
Okay.
The bionoid swings around with its heel spur, trying to take Chutney out. Rolls a 14 to hit, which I believe is going to just miss Chutney. No, it hits Chutney for 14. I got a terrible boo-boo. Takes 14 slashing damage. And then Chutney will drop his sword and draw his musket. It's time for you to say hello to Winston.
Winston, yo! Now we're talking. What's he gonna do?
He's gonna load his musket.
He's gonna Churchill that thing.
I mean, he's got a ballista called Big Boris and a musket called Winston. Here we go. He'll take.
Oh, he gets
2
advantage.
Advantage. Yep.
See ya.
20 to hit for 7 piercing damage. Why is that not doing its full damage? He should be dealing 1d12 plus 2. That just dealt 1d12, I believe. It's just dealing 7 damage. I'll fix his sheet at some point, but for now it'll be 2 plus 2. That's 4 damage against the Bionoid, and he'll take a second shot. Because thanks to Chutney's extensive knowledge of firearms, he ignores the loading property of black powder weaponry.
Take this. Never surrender.
17 misses. Chutney goes flying backwards. Oh, it's got a kick to it. Bad, Winston. Bionoid is going to reach into its membranous electrified chest, rips off the other pectoral plate, and as it does, the lightning in its core becomes unstable and shoots out all over Torke. Okay, so he, in order to do this...
Did you just say it ripped it out and
ripped
it
its
shot all
chest
over
open.
Torque?
Shot all open Torque, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Wow. Okay. Let's do a dexterity saving throw. Big money, big
Advantage.
big money, no whammies.
How dare you do this to Tom?
Woo! So
Okay,
I'm gonna
25 you pass, meaning that you take half the damage, which was 46, reduced to 23.
I'm gonna take a half. And Torque is now unconscious.
But not
Wait,
dead.
Yeah,
I'm dead.
I had 30. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
No.
So 23 shouldn't reduce you to being unconscious.
I don't know. I just clicked the button and it did it.
Step 7. You must have hit the full damage button.
No, I
Or the
didn't.
double damage button.
No, I hit the button that says over here, apply half damage to selected token. I don't know.
Did you have 30 hit points? I think you did.
No,
but
I don't know. I don't know if I
I
was.
think you didn't. I think you were lower. Yeah,
I
you
think I have 0. I think I'm unconscious.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So you
Torque's
got
unconscious.
The Bionoid is now bleeding profusely from his chest.
Mission accomplished.
How could you do this, Pain?
Guessing that we don't want this thing to self-destruct on Torque?
And it just did.
Oh, well, you would assume that self-destruct would cause it to explode. Like,
That's
Like,
it
die.
says self-destruct means just to destroy oneself, doesn't it?
I mean, like, Pokemon logic, no.
Pokemon taught me the meaning of everything.
Alright, this is a long shot, but let's see if this works. Go to sleep! And I wanna, begin to, conduct, a silent melody to this creature and try to give it some arcane nullification to see if it stops its rampage in any way.
So you're going to use arcane nullification to try and stop it.
Correct.
You fool. Your magic has no effect on me.
Yugi!
Gretel Kaiba.
Kaiba boy.
Alright, that didn't work. We're in big trouble, everybody. That's all I can do. That was my action. That was a long shot.
Torque, death save.
All right. Normal death saving.
That's a crit fail.
No, it's not a crit fail.
I rolled a
Is it
You
3.
got a 1 on the d4.
Oh, he rolled a 1 on the d4. Oh, it was red, so I thought it was. It was a 2 on the death save and a 1 on the d4.
Yeah.
Okay, so one failed death save. Torque. Yue, you're up.
Do what you do.
Save the Torque.
Do what you do, Yue.
Well,
Do what you do, Yue.
Get out of here.
You're the man.
Okay, I will run past him.
Save the Torque. Save the world.
I'm gonna do. Unhuman Ward.
Why did you get close to him?
Yeah.
Because I miss him.
Because I missed him.
If she's gonna do cure wounds, it's
Well,
touch.
this is very aggressive.
No, that's the wrong spell.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have laughed. I tracked it down, that's why.
Okay, so, first level healing word for 6 healing on Torque. That was your bonus action. What would you like to do with your action?
That's a restoration.
No.
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 I mean, it
Oh, I
wouldn't
mean,
do
I
anything
could-
anyways.
I mean, she did say she'd like to do it. She didn't say that's what she was going to do.
No, but I'll guiding bolt this
No,
motherfucker.
no,
Hey,
you won't.
Why not?
Cantrip.
Can't cast 2 spells like that.
Gotta
you can
throw
cast
a
2 spells in
cantrip.
one turn, but not like that.
Oh!
I cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Yay!
Flame, and it rolls a 1.
Yay!
Finally, you deal 2 damage.
I will squish this little woman like a bug.
Do you not see the irony, Pain? Gideon, you're up.
Well, my buddy Torque is up. He's laying on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Then I should be able to see
Oh, he's no
Homeboy
longer big.
unimpeded.
Do I shrink if I go unconscious?
No, because I concentrated on conducting, so
Oh.
big is
Hmm.
gone.
Yeah, he gave up the big Torque.
How do
Good
I
sir,
shrink
DM.
myself?
What's up, my dude?
I'm gonna call my shot. I'm aiming for the crystal up here. Because Homeboy almost took down my buddy, and I don't appreciate that.
It's about the
So-
principalities of the matter.
Exactly. Come through, Chaos. With advantage. See ya. 27 to hit that crystal. Does it hit?
Sorry, I did the roll. 27. Yes, that will hit the crystal. As you
I was
hit
like,
the
what's
crystal, the crystal goes tumbling out of the creature's head and rolls across the floor of the cathedral all the way to the dais at the back. You watch as the body falls back, and as it's falling, it shrinks back down into its humanoid dimensions. But then the body starts to almost disintegrate, turns to nothing more than flitters of ash.
Someone get that crystal.
Talk. Grab.
And there's nothing left of the insectoid?
No, he's dead. Well, the body is destroyed.
Perfect.
Okay.
Should I grab the crystal, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Chutney is going to pick up the crystal, and as he does, the crystal leaps from his hand and shoots towards his face. He will roll a dex save.
Who could have foreseen this coming?
Not like this was foretold.
Some sort of premonition, some sort of dream.
Thanks, James.
I had the dream. I was chilling, thinking about puppies.
All of Chutney's bones in his face break in an instant. And his body starts to morph as he is overcome by the most intense and excruciating looking, painful ritual you have ever seen. And his body almost turns to mush before reforming itself in the exact same stature as the bionoid that stood before you before.
I am pain.
Chucky's dead.
What'd you say?
Chutney is no more.
Me, no!
Why do we want this crystal again?
We, Oh my god.
Well,
I agree
I
with
mean, we're like 9 minutes over, but like,
That's where we're gonna leave the episode.
what the heck?
Oh!
I can assure you, stream may be delayed next week because he may not be here.
Uh-oh.
I
What?
may ship him home for this.
Oh no.
You can't
I
just,
think- I
you
think- I
can't
think
just
Nick-
kill Chucky like that,
I
bro.
think Nick's gonna have a fucking connection.
Oh my god, what did you do?
What? You
You
knew
did
this would
this.
happen.
Gideon did this.
You planned this!
I did not plan this. That was just how things shook out.
No, that's not what happened.
Gideon.
Don't worry, I'll handle this.
I said, should I pick
I
up
didn't
the
have the
crystal,
dream.
Captain?
I didn't have the dream, so I didn't know what was gonna happen.
I just made the Chutmochi!
Next, you'll think I'm here to watch you. We've lost a viewer.
What?
Oh.
What?
I am pain.
You
I
lost
mean, we can just shoot the crystal out of him, can't we?
Oh my
Yeah, we'll
god.
restart the whole stream.
Damage he took before. Oh, that was good. That really, that filled my dark heart with joy.
Oh.
Not Chud. I mean, there's people like John and all those guys and Nick are gonna be like upset.
That's it.
I'm upset.
Nobody spoil this for them. They've gotta watch this VOD. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, John's here.
Oh, they're here. They're both here.
Can I cast Bless? Will that help?
Bless the restoration. It should help.
You just watched his entire body
Anything.
be broken down and reformed into the shape of
Like
this
in
like
Adam.
horrible insectoid creature. Yeah, it was
I
like
can't
atomized
believe-
and reformed.
There's gotta be a way to save.
It
I
kills the
don't-
creature, reviving a bionoid. I mean, there's nothing. It's done. It literally says on a failed save, it kills the creature.
You wanted to kill off Chutney.
No, I didn't. I honestly
I
thought-
told you.
I honestly thought you guys would either be like, you know, from the dream, know not to touch the crystal, or Torque would touch the crystal. Those were my two things. I did not expect Chutney
Torque
to be
might have
left on the
died.
list.
I told Chutney to run the other way when
Yeah.
we first started this.
Torque's not an NPC.
You're not in charge. I'm the captain.
I don't want Torque to die, though.
Torque's not dead.
Plus, Torque's got mad
I
dex.
love how this death. I hate to compare our stream to anything else, especially this. But this death has hit people as hard as Molly Mock's death hit people in Critical Role. Oh, sorry, spoilers for people who haven't seen season 2 at all. Oh my god.
I know I'm at fault.
No, that's it, John. There's no more funny gifts for you. That's it. He was the one.
Well, you know what this means, though. There's room on board the ship for another member.
Chutney's twin brother.
No,
Penguins.
no more
Buttony.
Buddy.
I mean, we've got a fucking another Bionoid to fight, apparently. So I don't know if Torque's gonna survive this.
Yeah, and Torque is at 6 hit points because of.
Yeah.
I thought when you ran over to me, you were gonna at least cast Cure Wounds. That's why I was like, oh well, we'll get Cure Wounds out of it.
I,
No,
She
it's
doesn't
not
have
your
Cure
fault.
Wounds.
Because
you
I
don't have
missed
Cure
him.
Wounds?
I don't have cure wounds.
No, John. No more spice-based gift. That's it.
I have 10 blessings,
Chatty was
and
your lot.
that's
You
it.
didn't look after him. Now he's gone.
Oh man.
He lasted longer than I thought he would. But there we go.
I don't. What are we calling this now? This episode. I mean, wow.
Rest
True
and
pain.
relaxation.
True pain. Rest and relaxation. The party goes to the hotel.
Nothing else.
We
happens.
cannot lie to
Slumber
everyone.
party.
You are gonna make so many
Nothing.
enemies.
It's so funny how like kind of nice the episode started, and then it just devolved. This is what I've been planning like for weeks. I've been so excited for this encounter, but I didn't expect it to go down this way.
Can we
Well, you
redo
expected
today?
me to do it, and what?
Can we go back to the save?
Can we save? Yeah, save, reload.
Where was the checkpoint?
You guys didn't make a quick
Save.
save. You have to go back to the beginning of the campaign.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Nick, the rest of this
like-
adventure
it's
has
like-
better be a reference quest.
But
to
like, it's
resurrect
not
the world.
even like we don't have a body to like bring to like a do.
I
like
can
a,
make one
you know-
out of pure watermelon.
You do have a body.
I can make one. Out of watermelon.
It's standing right in front of you, and it's got heel spurs. and
That's about to kill us.
4 hit points.
Wait a minute, and is it going to be one side when we fight this thing? It's going to be pain on one side, and then Chutney going, hey, like fighting back. No, don't.
Watermelon.
We'll have to see.
Oh, don't. It hurts. My boo boo.
Is that how I sound to you?
Yes.
Alright.
Oh, the boo boo.
I
So,
need
that's that.
some rest after that.
James is.
I think
Oh,
we're
what
all
the
a
hell,
little
Rob?
distraught.
What the hell, Rob?
It's okay. He won't be breathing tomorrow.
Apparently, I'm gonna die.
Here's
so
the
you
problem
guys
now,
When
don't-
I
Christina,
said
you
it's
as
a
a-
delay
you
for
haven't-
next week,
You have
it's,
admitted
he
this
has
to
an
the
issue with
entire
me later.
stream. Now everybody knows. You have witnesses to your premeditation here.
Uh-huh.
They agree with me.
that doesn't make it right. All right, so
There
we
is a
are
hacker
we are
looking
we are
for
well over time here. I think it was worth going over time just for this. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Hopefully, even as much as I've emotionally scarred everyone, people show up for more
Emotional scarring.
D&D-based trauma next week.
wow. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll all mourn next week. The death of
If you
Chuck.
live.
I'll be mourning throughout the week. Oh, dang.
I'm mourning right now.
Enjoy the Chutmoji, everybody.
I'm glad we
Christina,
chose chutney as a
Can we make it like black or something like that? Put it around the edge, like now. Can we like adjust the color?
Like an
No,
RIP at the bottom.
someone put in the
I'll make
chat
a
of
little
turning
clear
it
blue
upside
one.
down. No,
Yeah.
someone put in the chat of turning it upside down.
There you
of
go.
Doing the watermelon upside down.
And who put glasses on chutney? I didn't put that there.
Oh,
Beautiful. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you
Good
for
night.
tuning in to another episode. Oh, you
Man.
see it leaving the the chutney emote.
Yeah, everybody
Oh,
drop
man.
some chuts in the chat, please. if
Yeah,
you
no
can.
F's,
Just,
just
That's in the chat.
just can I get some chuts in the chat, please?
And again, a chutter in the chat, please.
all right. Well, I guess thank you, everyone. Wow.
Except
Alright.
for our DM.
You're welcome, everybody. I think I put on a great show right there. Ow!
A little bit.
D&D.
Wait.
I love this.
Why do you love this so
That's beautiful.
Man.
sadness?
I guess at this point we need to sign off, right, Rob? I mean, we're all
Yeah,
scarred.
give me a very sad next time, please, Ryan.
Next time on Spelljammer, Tears of the Moon.
We'll actually be crying.
Real tears.
Of sadness.
Good night, everyone.
One.